desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away, wake you up in the middle of the night, just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice night, what a nice night. Bring your alibi. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. She said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gather for the.
What would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? He'd make a plan and he'd follow through. That's what Brian Boitano do. When Brian Boitano was in the Olympics skating for the gold, he did 2 sock cows and a triple lutz while wearing a blindfold. When Brian Boitano was in the Alps fighting grizzly bears, he used his magical fire breath and saved the maidens fair. So what would Brian Boitano do if he were here today? I'm sure he'd kick an ass or two. That's what Brian Boitano do. I want this feature out of me, it has stunted my vocabulary. And I just want my mom to stop fighting everyone. For Wendy, I'll be an activist too, 'cause that's what Brian Boitano would do. And what would Brian Boitano do? He'd call all the kids in town and tell them to unite for truth. That's what Brian Boitano do. When Boy Tano traveled through time to the year 310. He fought the evil robot king and saved the human race again. And when Ryan Boitano built the pyramids, he beat up Kublai Khan. Cause Ryan Boitano doesn't take shit from anybody. So let's call all the kids together and unite to stop our moms. And we'll save Terrence and Philip too, cause that's what Ryan Boitano do. And we'll save Terrence and Philip too, cause that's what Ryan Boitano do. That's what Ryan Boitano do.
I'm only happy when it rains. I'm only happy when it's complicated. And though I know you can appreciate it, I'm only happy when it rains. You know I love it when the news is bad, and why it feels so good to feel so sad. I'm only happy when it rains. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. I'm only happy when it rains. I feel good when things are going wrong. I only listen to the sad, sad songs. I'm only happy when it rains. I only smile in the dark. My only comfort is the night gone black. I didn't accidentally tell you that. I'm only happy when it rains. You'll get the message by the time I'm through. When I complain about me and you, I'm only happy when it rains. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down. You can keep me company as long as you don't care. I'm only happy when it rains. You wanna hear about my new obsession? I'm riding high upon a deep depression. I'm only happy when it rains. Pour some misery down on me. I'm only happy when it rains. 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 Pour some misery down on me. Pour some misery down on me. Pour some misery down on me. I'm only happy when it rains down on me. Pour your misery down on me.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just give me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling, so I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling, but there's one thing I know: the blues they sent to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. Till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. Don't waste your time on coffins today, when we decline from the confines of our mind. Don't waste your time on coffins today. Don't you see their bodies burning, desolate and full of yearning, dying of anticipation, choking from intoxication. Don't you see their bodies burning, desolate and full of yearning, dying of anticipation, choking from intoxication. Want you to be left behind those empty.
Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Tron Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/XboxEra, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello friends, and welcome to episode 268 of the XboxEra podcast. We're here to discuss all of the latest in gaming from across the industry, but overall we're focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. As always, everything we do is made entirely possible by the community that's watching and the folks that support us on YouTube, on Patreon. So big shout outs to all of our MVPs, our executive producers, but especially our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin and Kevin S. And of course, our wonderful CEO, Tron Raptor. As always, I'm joined by Special Nick.
What's going on?
The lovely Jesse.
Hello. That's not what I wrote in the intro. You could have said the real thing.
Okay, all right, I'll read what you wrote. Some fat guy. I felt like I couldn't do that. That's just mean. Mm-hmm. But forget all of that. He's being self-deprecating. Ignore all of that. We've got a lovely special guest with us today. Ryan McCaffrey of IGN is here on the show for the first time. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is how you get me on podcasts, is you corner me at real life events and be like,
true story.
Hey, you want to come on our show? And I can't say no in person because I'll just look like a dick.
Exactly.
So it's like, no, I'm happy to be here. It's I've crossed paths with Nick once before.
Yes.
It's good to chat with you guys and just see, it's nice, honestly, to not have to host. I can just sit here and say things whenever I want to.
How good is it?
And not have to worry about like keeping the show on track.
No, you can butt in. It's all down to me today. So, relax, put your feet up. You're in good company. We've got a lovely community here. So it's a pleasure to have you on, though. Like we were just saying in the green room before we went live, I've been reading, your thoughts in gaming for a very long time, since you were a part of the official Xbox magazine back in the day. Nick's been listening to you on Unlocked since, well, forever. I think Jesse's probably been listening as well.
Oh, yeah.
How does it feel now? And, we're just going to get straight into things with you, Ryan. This is the Ryan show. You've been working in this industry for a very long time, but how did you take those first tentative steps into covering? Were you just a gamer first and then kind of just fell into it, or did you pursue it?
I want to start by actually just telling your audience that, because I'm sure you give the Patreon message every week, right? Like
we do.
You got to do it. If anybody that's a regular listener / viewer of this podcast, if you enjoy it week in and week out, time and time again, and these guys bring you information, bring you enjoyment, seriously, please do consider supporting them on Patreon, because I have a little side gig that's on Patreon as well. We're not here to talk about that, but like I know full well what the support of your community means, because it's like, you know, you might have an ad or two, a sponsor here or there, but it really is, it's your community, like you said at the top. So, you know, if you've been listening for a while and you haven't supported these guys on Patreon yet, just consider like, what's your base level tier? Like, what's the
$3?
$3.
Measly
I mean,
$3.
that's you can't even get like a coffee for that. So it's like, just, you're not going to miss $3 a month. If that, just do at least that. Cause I just have a lot of respect and a lot of empathy for fellow creators who are out there doing something. Cause this isn't any of your day jobs, is it?
No.
It's me and Jesse's.
Not
me.
It is our official day jobs.
So even more important then, like, your audience, please support these guys. If you know take that one thing away from me being here today, because I really do think it's important to support the creators you love, because quite frankly, the games media space, whether it's independent content creators, major media outlets, if you want to call it that, like IGN, like, the space is getting smaller. That's not good. We want it to get bigger. We need more voices, more people with different perspectives, different backgrounds. And so seriously, I'll stop after this, but just consider supporting these guys. Cause I mean it, it's really important. If you enjoy something, just show it a little love. Like, you get $3 is your base level tier. First of all, I'll leave you with this. This is my advice. Drop the $3, make the base level tier $5. Because anybody that's going to support you at $3, they're going to support you at $5. Just make that change right after this. Right after
$1. We used to have a $1.
We used to have $1.
Yeah. Because I did too on mine, and eventually I just got rid of it. Just go to $5. That's my advice to you guys.
Okay. Honestly, Ryan, I'm just going to cut that whole segment of you, and you can be our new Patreon ad. You know, we'll just put right in.
No, I mean, again, we're here to have fun, but I am very serious about how important it is to support the people that you love, that make the things you like. So do support these guys. Jump on their Patreon and just tell them I sent you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
That deserves
an achievement unlocked. A toast. A toast.
Favorite guest.
Favorite guest achieved.
How the hell did they get the name Toast? I don't know where Microsoft came up with that. I don't remember the story. I have to ask Major Nelson the next time I see him. But anyway, I guess I should actually answer your question now about how I got into all this. And really, it was, for me, it was a combination of persistence and luck. And that's really what it came down to. So I'd always been strong in English, in writing, in school. And I've been playing games since the original Nintendo made me a gamer when I was 7, 8 years old. My first console was the NES that I bought with first communion money when I was, it wasn't right when it came out. It was a couple of years into I must have got that when I was 7 or 8, whenever you make your first communion. I don't know. Anyway. So, you know, my friends and we've just been gamers since then, since we were kids. And I'd always written well. I'd always enjoyed writing in English. And around high school, I guess, when you kind of got to start thinking about, all right, well, what do I want to major in college? What do I maybe want to do with myself? I thought, well, somebody writes these video game magazines that I love reading, which back then was EGM and then later PC Gamer and PC Accelerator were big ones for me. And I just thought, well, I want to do that. So I went to journalism school because I thought, well, English, do I do English? Do I do journalism? Those seem to kind of
for the record. I've never been to
here.
Journalism school.
Yeah. And I thought, well, I don't really want to teach English if this all goes south. So I think journalism is going to offer me a little bit more flexibility. I went to journalism school, got my degree, and as soon as I graduated, I just started sending out my resume to every video game magazine and website I could think of. And I had a couple little nibbles before I had a serious bite from Official Xbox Magazine, who wrote back and said, well, we happen to have an opening. Why don't you send in some writing samples? So
dude,
I ran to the store and I bought a copy of Official Xbox Magazine. I did not yet own an Xbox. This was summer of 2002 at this point.
Wow.
Just to set us in the timeline. OXM had gotten started in officially the Xbox launch in fall of 2001, but they'd done like a special issue the previous summer. Anyway, so they're like less than a year into the magazine at this point. And they had their senior editor left, so they were going to hire a junior editor to come in. And like I said, I went to the grocery store, went to the newsstand, bought Official Xbox Magazine, poured through it, and I wrote a couple of like bits from the magazine, like as if they were going to go in about just whatever games I was playing at the moment, just to try to do it in their style. And I guess they liked that enough to bring me out for an interview. And once that was set, I was like, I guess I better buy an Xbox now, so that if they ask me in the interview if I own an Xbox, that I should be able to say yes.
Fake it till you make it, mate.
Yeah, I bought an Xbox with Halo, of course, and started to get into it. It's like, yeah, this is because I was a PC guy. I mean, I'd grown up Nintendo, grown up consoles, but it was Doom in '93. That flipped me. I was like, I got to play games on PC, and I kind of mostly left console behind for a while. But anyway, yeah, they liked me enough in person that they offered me the job, and I moved out to the San Francisco area, where I've been lucky enough to be ever since. So yeah, it's kind of just opportunity and some good luck and some persistence on my part, and and the rest. I'm lucky to still be here almost 3 years later.
That's crazy. That is like, it's interesting because you're I'm going to call it a very positive rant and passionate rant about supporting people on Patreon.
You want to call it a successful rant, John? Because thank you, Music72, for joining the Patreon, and thank you to Spartan P451 who gifted 10 YouTube Patreon memberships that are right there in chat right now.
Love it. Thank you very much, everybody. But it's interesting that you say all of that and about that new generation of games folks coming up, right? And we say new generation. Nick, Jesse, and I are like in our 40s. We are not new by any stretch of the imagination, but in a very similar vein, the reason we got started is that we kind of got frustrated by the scene in that. And we all know this, we work in this industry. We've been doing this for 6 years, and it's not a patch on your 23, but Xbox is the least popular platform. Like that is simply the truth. That's
the truth.
And we were getting annoyed at listening to conversations from pundits about the platform when they definitely don't ever play on it. And it was like, what are you talking about? You don't know that, and then that's why we started the show. And here we are 6 years later, pretending we're far bigger than we are, with a shiny website that looks like 30 people work on it.
Hey, Phil likes us enough to jump on at least.
We have had Phil on twice, which is, I think, impressive for a very small cavalier attitude show like ours. So
and it's a credit to him. Like he does that. Like you don't see Doug Bowser hopping on a random or any Nintendo podcast. Big or small. You don't see whoever's the CEO of PlayStation at this point jumping onto PlayStation podcasts. It's like that's always been a cool thing about Phil, and I'm glad he stopped by and has hung out with you guys a couple times.
It was 40 minutes the last time too. It wasn't short.
Yeah, he even hosted our game show, which was quite entertaining.
Yes, he did. Hosted our game show.
But it's interesting you say you used to be a PC gamer, and consoles kind of like you left them behind because, well, as luck would have it, it sounds like we're kind of coming back around now, full circle. And this is when I bumped into you at Summer Game Fest, and I know you made a joke of it, but I literally did corner Ryan. I saw him standing there, fellow short king You know, we're both of similar height. And I was like, Ryan McCaffrey. And we had a brief conversation. I was like, I'd love to have you on the show. And thankfully, here you are. We're here. Xbox have come out. They've announced new hardware. They've reiterated. They've suggested it's going to be handheld. They've suggested it's also going to be the standardized box in your living room. Then we've got AMD following up with this partnered video. Like, hey, we're going to go beyond. I mean, this sounds like we're going to get into OEM sphere with multiple manufacturers making multiple different Xboxes. And in my opinion, I feel like we're almost going to get into kind of like the phone space in a way, in terms of in 2029, HP might release their version and it's got extra RAM comparatively to whatever. And then we're just off. We're off to the races. I guess, you know, from your perspective, having seen this kind of journey through the industry, how do you feel about it? Like, what's your console hat say? Like, do you feel like, oh, this is weird, or is it kind of nice?
It was weird at first, sure, because it's like we're just not used to console makers putting their games on other platforms and putting their platforms on other platforms. But you know what? Like, I've said this before on Unlocked, so if anybody's heard this thing before, I apologize, but every 2 years, IGN does we call a segmentation study, where it's this like third-party company. All they do is like survey significant swaths of our audience, like a reasonable sample size of people of all ages, of all backgrounds. And what the data shows as time has gone on, we're at the point now where Gen Alpha, the kids now, and I know I we're
the same age. We're all good.
No, you and I are the same age, mate.
The kids, they don't care about. They have they don't care about platforms. They don't have the tribalism that we grew up with. And I know tribalism kind of isn't. That's got a negative connotation to it, and I think sometimes it is, like online it can be. But as we grew up with it, like Sega, Nintendo, playground stuff, it wasn't quite as vicious as it is online now, but
not as toxic.
Yeah. But the point is, the new generation, they just don't, they're not like, I'm a Sony pony, I'm a PlayStation gamer, I'm an Xbox. Like, no, they've got Minecraft on
everything.
Whatever
Roblox
is closest to their eyes, whether that's a phone, an iPad, a PC, a console, a handheld, like they just, that is the way that things are moving, which, kind of makes sense when you think about it. And that, like, that's how entertainment in general has gone, right? Like, used to be you had to go to the theater to watch a movie, and that was it. Like, now, no, it's like some movies, like, you can pay to watch them on Amazon, like at the same time they come out in theaters.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like the streaming services. It's, again, you watch it on your phone if you're on the subway or something. You watch it on your iPad if you're eating dinner. You watch it on the TV if you're, having a Netflix and chill night with your significant other, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how entertainment is going. Just like, you have to go where your audience is. And even IGN has tried to do that. Like, IGN's on everything, like TikTok and all kinds of stuff that I'm too old to understand. But yeah, like, anyway, to come back to it, I think it makes perfect sense for Xbox. Now, do I think that they have kind of been forced into this by bungling the console space pretty badly? Particularly, obviously, in the Xbox One generation, which Phil himself has openly spoken about. It's not me speaking out of school. Yeah. Like, that's why Sony's not doing it, because Sony can keep doing the traditional status quo thing for a while. I mean, even them, they're starting to go, oh shit, we can make a lot of money on PC. And I would be willing to bet a small amount of money. Call it my, out here in California, or my In-N-Out burger lunch bet. Because In-N-Out's awesome. Which means even if I lose the bet, I still eat In-N-Out, and so I still win. But I would be willing to bet that Sony, even if they aren't going to be putting their games on Xbox or Nintendo anytime soon. I think they're going to start inching closer to being day and date on PC.
On PC.
Yeah, like it's right now it's like a year later or 2 years later, or let's dip into the back catalog. Now, I think pretty soon they're going to see that like development costs are going up. The PC segment is growing, console is not. Yeah. And so that includes PlayStation. They may be number one, but it's not growing. So I think that's where Sony's going as far as PC goes. But so yeah, it's kind of taken in the aggregate, like zoom out, 10,000 foot view. No, what Xbox is doing doesn't surprise me. Did they get here kind of because it was the last option for them for success? Yes. I think both of those things can be true.
Yeah, 100%. I think I think if you actually got Microsoft off the record, they would be like, "Yeah, we screwed it up so bad." Like there was no recovery. I remember having a conversation, and I won't say who with, because it wasn't on the record and anything like
Bill
that.
Gates.
But it was a senior level exec within the first party studios organization. This was way back in I'm going to say like 2014, 15, something around there. And they were talking about a certain Xbox exec that isn't Phil that was in charge of the Xbox One launch.
I wonder who you could possibly be talking about.
And they were like, I was like, what the hell? Like, I was just candidly like, what happened? And they were like, man, it was like he was surrounded by these yes men that were shielding him for like 2 weeks from the absolute uproar. Like, how did it go, guys? How's our numbers looking? All good, Don. And it was like, no, it was not. It was very, very bad. And they've just never recovered.
No, they lost 30 million users. Think about that. 30 million is the number. And that's a number that came from another person I can't name that was high up back in the day, not Don. But I've always wanted to interview Don, and I've never I could never get to him. I almost got to him when he was at Zynga. Like I was working my way through the PR channels, and then he golden parachuted out of there before I could actually get sit down with him. But 30 million 360 users left and never went to Xbox One. They went to PS4, and that was it. That's the moment they start building, the precious library of games that, are stuck with you for 10 years, and there's no going back from that. No one's going to just willingly torch that. And it wasn't just the platform level mistakes that we all think of, Kinect and the underpowered console and that kind of stuff. They catastrophically mismanaged their first party studios. They ruined Fable.
Oh man.
Yep.
To the point, like you can't argue with me on that. Lionhead is dead. Like they mismanaged it into the ground by thinking, let's make a 4v1 Fable game. No, don't fucking do that. That's a bad idea.
This is the real Ryan McCaffrey. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I remember I wrote the whatever E3 it was that they were showing. They had hands-on behind closed doors in the booth of Fable Legends. I played it, and I went back to the IGN booth. We had a little kind of secret work area inside the booth, and I sat down and I wrote my preview. And I still remember. You can look it up right now. It's the headline, which just like came to me right away and felt right, and still does. It was Fable Legends forgets what made Fable great.
Yeah,
and
that sounds about right.
They were pissed. Microsoft was not happy about that. It was like,
really?
I'm not wrong. It's also
not your job to pander to their
of course not.
Every design.
So anyway, mismanaging Lionhead and I'm not nearly as hard on 343 as some people, but they're definitely, it has not been a smooth road with Halo, and they basically made all the mistakes that you could make at the same time. And they had to kind of start over in a sense.
Pivot. It's interesting you say, discussing this, because Nick has a very oft repeated phrase about Microsoft and how they approach gaming. Not to put you on the spot, Nick, but I'm sure you know what that phrase is, which is
the data one.
No, they don't get it.
Oh, they don't get it. I've got so many. I have so many.
Come on, bro, I'm queuing you up.
Which one you're referring to? Yes, I've always said they don't get it. They don't. There's not much they get. At least not post the 360. Like, if you look at who was there during the 360 period that made that such a successful period, despite R-Rod being an anchor to them, almost none of those people were there post the 360. So in a way, it kind of makes sense the way it went. Like, we all understand that Microsoft's a very data-driven company, but the problem is the video game industry is so unique, and so much of that data was contextless. So it's one thing to say, hey, look, our data shows that everyone on their 360 is watching Netflix. So how about we make the next box focus on Netflix? It's like, that's fine. They're all watching Netflix, but that's at the end of the generation. They weren't watching Netflix day one on their 360s. Day one, they were playing games.
Yeah.
With their shiny new boxes. They're watching Netflix later. Yeah. Just little things like that. Like, yeah, anyway.
I mean, I guess we don't have to relitigate the past
yeah,
of the 6,000
Xbox Anonymous.
That's why I stopped. Yeah.
It's a bit, like we're here now. You could argue that the mismanagement is over, right? And if we look specifically at last year and this year, I mean, this is finally, there's a lot to unpack here. Like I've always said that when they started to do the acquisitions, and, I remember Phil's statement back in like 2017, build a first party leading organization, best powered box, I want to build all of these pillars. And he's done that. And you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Phil coming on our show, he is one of the only execs, and Microsoft and Xbox are some of the only execs that actually come out and have a chat and liaise with their fans. And I'd argue that period of time where they were on that kind of journey of coming back and building up, they weaponized that tribalism a little bit. And when the acquisition started to hit, the messaging was, this is for you. We're doing this for the win now. Here we go. And now we're here, and that backlash, which we've experienced over the last sort of 12 to 18 months of tribalism, of undoing 30, 40 years of this is how the console industry works. Why are you doing this, Microsoft? This was our chance to win, is the kind of feedback we've all been hearing, right? I feel like Microsoft have done that to themselves by kind of initially weaponizing and having those parasocial relationships online. I don't know. Like, what's your take on that? Like, there's a lot to unpack there. Right?
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, I do think that they definitely fed into that by engaging their high level executives would frequently engage with members of the Xbox community that traded in that extreme zealot like tribalism that would not have been, if I were the PR person, which I'm not, thank goodness. Yeah. I have respect for PR people. I could never do it. They were amplifying voices that they probably shouldn't have been amplifying. I don't think they were doing it maliciously necessarily, but they may have just not sort of realized the people that they were lifting up were not necessarily representative, the people you'd want kind of speaking or representing the wider Xbox community. I'll put it that way. I could name some names, but I'd prefer to not. No, I'm not going to get into any of that.
Absolutely. No, but you're absolutely right. Like, I think, and that then the backlash came, and suddenly, we've seen the reverse kind of happen where they've all been very much like hands off, far less communicative.
Oh yeah, it's very obvious that there was a strategy put in place where it's like, we're not going to post on social anymore. And honestly, it's probably for the best.
Yep.
Just let the games do the talking, like, which to their credit, they've been, as I'm sure you guys have talked a lot about on your podcast, and we've been talking about it Unlocked, like they're finally doing it after the studio acquisition started 6-7 years ago. We're finally seeing that steady cadence of good games that are hitting. I mean, since what, October, they've shipped Flight Sim 24, Stalker 2 as a third-party exclusive, Indiana Jones, Avowed, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black as a surprise. What am I leaving? I know I'm leaving a few out here.
South Midnight 5.
Yeah. So they're fine. I think this is probably just letting the games do the talking is probably a good way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doom.
Absolutely.
They do so many. Doom, like they've done so many. It's almost impossible to keep up with just from our small. Because as the reviews editor, trying to keep up just with Game Pass releases has been incredibly difficult because there's like 3 to 6 things every month just from that service. That's a day one launch lately, and it's been kind of nuts.
Yeah, I have to. I don't know, like, obviously IGN's a big organization, but I'm sure you play on multiple consoles and devices, just like like we all do. Like we've often said though that out of all of the players in the industry in terms of platform holders of this console gaming industry thing, Xbox has got to be the most interesting. Whether it's good or bad, they're always doing something. I often, like, we joke that we often don't know what a PlayStation or a Nintendo podcast get to talk about a lot of the time, because there's just the stuff it's going on. Like Nintendo kind of changed that a little bit now because they've actually got the Switch 2 out the door. But when we're seeing the pivot and this change now with Microsoft releasing the games on multi-platforms, we've seen them dominating PlayStation Store over the last couple of months. I mean, what's your feel on how PlayStation must be feeling on that, like internally? Like, they get 30% cut, we know that. Yeah. It's good for them monetarily, but is it good for them in terms of the broader impact to their industry and how things are going?
I don't see how Sony couldn't be happy with Microsoft shipping really good games on their platform. Their lead in the hardware side of things has only widened over the course of this generation. So, this was, we all thought, I think pretty optimistically, we're like, all right, Series X, great console. Then they've got this other, well, maybe I don't quite know what to make of this Series S thing, but surely they will regain some market share in this generation, and it's gone the opposite way. So, like, Sony has, I don't think, anything to complain about with Microsoft putting stuff on their platform and selling well.
Yep, that's very true. That's very true. They've got to be rolling in the cash just like Microsoft are, I guess. Now, obviously, the big news this week was, and we mentioned it earlier on, Xbox and AMD, they're partnering up. And it seems like Microsoft have made the promise now. We saw the Xbox Ally X. You and I have both had a go on it. I think it's, I don't know if you own an Ally X yourself, a current version. No. It's a nice handheld, right? And it's the comfort and stuff, it's chunky, it's heavy, but it's a nice handheld. But it's not a handheld Xbox, at least not yet. It's a handheld PC with Xbox design stuff. But this is the promises here now. We've had it in verbally from Sarah Bond, promising in your hands, home console, and full backwards compatibility across your library. What's your take on this? Like, do you think it's going to go that OEM route? Like, this is a big, broad industry change now. Like, are you excited for it? Because it's interesting. Like, how are you feeling about it as a longtime guy that covers Xbox? Is this going to change the game for Microsoft? Is this just another last hurrah, or are you not sure? Like, where's your vibe?
Well, if the next Xbox console, home console, like Series X successor, if it can connect to Steam and Epic Game Store and GOG, that's a game changer. Now, not necessarily, I'm not saying that they're going to be siphoning users from PlayStation. That's not happening.
No.
But like I said, PC gaming is growing and console isn't. So if suddenly somebody looking at getting into PC gaming sees a $600-700, because who the hell knows where all this pricing stuff's going to level out. But like a relatively reasonably priced console that basically is a PC also, but it's specific. It's just a game. It's literally a gaming PC. You're not doing any productivity on it. But that's like that, I think, could sway a good number of PC or potential PC gamers to come into the Xbox ecosystem at that point. So yeah, I think if that, and I took that away from what Sarah said in that little video announcing the AMD thing. And I was saying this on Unlocked, like, I guarantee you, and not that this is any kind of grand insight, but that script that Sarah read on her teleprompter when they put that video out, every word of that was gone over 1,000 times by the PR team, the corporate comms team, and the legal team at Microsoft. So that, like, every word is very specific. And so when she's talking about, I don't actually have it in front of me. I've
got it. I can pull it up. She says, and it depends. Who do you want to quote, Dr. Lisa Sue or Sarah herself?
Well, when Sarah was talking about, like, not a single storefront or something like that,
she said the full quote was, grounded in a platform designed for players, not tied to a single store device, and fully compatible with your existing Xbox game library.
Yeah. So that to me seemed to fan the flames of the next Xbox will connect to multiple things rumors. And if they do that, I do think that's, like, it's bold as hell.
Be amazing too.
But I think there's a lot of upside there for them.
Yeah. A lot of people have been pointing out, like, oh, this makes no sense. Why would they give up all of the money they earn on their store? Like, because if it's an Xbox and it's only got the Xbox store, that's the only place you could buy games. Ergo, you get all the money. But I think, like, and I'm no technical analyst, or I don't know the mechanics of, like, how people make money when it comes to hardware. But my brain says, well, if they're licensing out these AMD chips, well, they're going to be at cost to the OEM partners through the buying power of Microsoft. You're going to have the Windows fee waived, and you're going to be getting a cut off of the hardware manufacturers instead. So it's slightly different. You might not be getting a cut directly off the store, but you will still be pulling in money. And more importantly, you'll be pulling in users into your games, which are going to spend money more and more and more. Like, it's a risky bet. And it obviously means the end of Xbox Live Gold as in online paid multiplayer, because that can't exist in this world.
Good point.
Right, it's got to go now, because you can't tell customer on just a PC, no, you're good.
I mean, they've kind of gotten rid of it already, though. Really, it's kind of it's lumped into Game Pass Ultimate now.
Yeah. I think it just makes it easier for them come this next step to pull that plug. And just be like,
when you've got core, it also gives you like 35-ish games now or something. Like, they can have things to, like, okay, you can keep it and have those games, but you don't need to do it anymore. And they do seem to be getting around like any legal issues by it would still natively play your back-compat stuff, because that's why they will still need to keep making hardware, because emulation back-compat does require relicensing, as we've seen with original Xbox and 360 games. So like, everyone keeps thinking, oh, they're going to get out of hardware. It's like, no, it's the thing we've talked about for a long time. They're going to do the AMD or the NVIDIA reference hardware. You have to hit these specs. After that, go nuts, make them as good as you want, charge extra, sure, but and we do it close to cost, because then regulators are happy. Like, everything they're doing is a super long-term play to eventually get their store and Game Pass and all these various things everywhere. Like, we're already seeing with how much Apple is pissing and moaning as they're being dragged into an open ecosystem. Like, the EU and essentially non-US governments are constantly pushing to open stuff, because it is only better for consumers in the long run. And that's what they're really banking on, because they are so big that they know they can just wait it out in a way that, like, Sony can't, because Sony is propped up quite a bit on making money by how enormous PlayStation is. So they need all the money now and later. And that's why they shipped it to MAUs, and they've been trying very hard to get their margins up, because normally this point in a generation, the margins are a lot higher. Like Nintendo was at like 30-40% when they were 2017, 2018. And it just hasn't happened this generation for anyone.
Well said.
It's been a weird gen. It's been a weird gen.
Mm-hmm.
If I can interrupt for a second, because I don't think we've heard my voice enough this podcast.
That's fair.
There's a super chat here from Jordan White that's relevant, and I didn't want to get to it till like 2 hours later. If the new Xbox generation console has Steam and other gaming stores, do you think it will also be able to play VR games with the leaked Xbox Meta Quest 3? Will we get Xbox first-party VR games?
Not first party.
I doubt it,
but
it's interesting.
If it can launch into Windows and it has a fast enough port, there's no reason why it couldn't. Also, if it's just running like virtual desktop or something, and you don't need the ports at that point anyways, and it's all just wireless, yeah.
It's super exciting. Like anyone that kind of is poo-pooing it, if you just love video games, which I would argue, put the tribalism aside. I know this is an Xbox show, but like put the tribalism aside. If you just love video games, this is an exciting like step forward, because it means that you can kind of play. If you were just a console gamer, well, guess what? You still get to be that, but you also get to dip your toe into a world of crazy indies that suddenly take the world by storm, but aren't going to come to console for 2 years because the indie developer can't afford it yet, or they're too small, or step into a VR game you've never played before. It's an open market, and I think that is the most interesting thing to happen to this industry for decades.
But isn't that Xbox branded MetaQuest an odd choice though?
It's also it was announced a full year ago. Like, it's not new. We knew about it.
Yeah,
it's just a package because they were doing the cloud streaming through it, and it's a really cool way to do it. But yeah,
as always, though,
we know
there's going to be
it.
some confusing for customers. Like even the new Xbox Ally X and the Xbox Ally is confusing, because the average Joe will be like, "Cool, oh, I can't play anything that I've owned for 20 years.
Can't play my OG games. Can't play my 360 games.
We got that many. You're normally in the know enough to not be the average Joe. The average Joe is just picking it up and it's like, cool, this one can actually play Fortnite on like my Steam Deck or something. Like, that's all they care about.
I'm conscious of time because we've only got Ryan for an hour, so I want to try and hammer through some stuff. So we've talked a lot about the industry. We've talked a lot about like how all this change is exciting and interesting. In terms of games, Ryan, what has been your favorite thing to kind of come out of all of the acquisitions and all the things Microsoft have done, specifically on Xbox? Like, what's the thing you've played where you've been like, holy shit, yeah, this is now we're back. Like, what's the one that's blown you away? Oh,
well, I think I said this publicly, whether on social media or on Unlocked or both, but I think for my gaming tastes, Indiana Jones is the best thing that they have shipped for sure this generation, for sure. Not that there haven't been other great games. Like, I gave Halo Infinite a 9. I love the campaign.
And didn't you hear about it?
Yeah. Actually, I mean, you know what? Nobody ever really argued about the campaign. It was obviously the controversy / discourse went to hell when 343 couldn't really kind of make that switch from regular traditional multiplayer game to live service multiplayer thing. But that's the one to me that, and again, because Machine Games, these guys have literally never made a bad game.
Quite true.
The core of them started at Starbreeze, and they made the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, which
fantastic.
Quick old guy story.
Do it. I love the game.
When those guys, so at OXM, we had in our little office space, we all had TVs at our desk, but then we had one big HD TV, because remember, this is the original Xbox era when HD TVs weren't really a thing. We had one HD TV, like a big one, like a 32-inch, kind of in a corner, and that's where when publishers would come in and show us games and do demos, it was there. And I remember when Starbreeze came in with Riddick, and we had no idea, like, there wasn't hype. It was just nobody knew anything about them or about that game at that point. Nobody had any expectations for it. And I just remember not only were we blown away by that game, both from a gameplay perspective and a technical perspective, but if anybody, the serious deep cut, the menu for that game was a rotating normal mapped cube where the text would like shoot out of the cube.
Yes.
And we were just like messing around with the menu, like just making the cube. And so that just, and those guys, so they ship Riddick, and then they ship Dark Athena, the standalone expansion thing that was also very good. Then they leave and start Machine Games, and they hook up with id and Bethesda, and they do obviously their fantastic Wolfenstein games, completely reviving that franchise. Because people may not remember, there was an attempt to revive Wolfenstein before by Raven Software, who's also really talented. I love those guys, but that game it didn't quite take off. It was good.
Was that the multiplayer 2003 return to
Wolfenstein
No. I'm
09.
talking later. There was another one.
Okay.
It was good too.
I have fond memories of the multiplayer one. Like, I really liked that.
The Wolfenstein you're thinking of was that was Nerve Studio did that, who was another kind of off of the id Software family tree. But anyway, so Machine Games, going back to when they were at Starbreeze and did Riddick, and then they form Machine Games and do the great Wolfenstein stuff, and then just I think Indiana Jones is one of it's so good. It's just like, and it's really unique too. I mean, it's not a shooter. I think it's got more in common with Riddick than it's got in common with Wolfenstein, which, as somebody for who Riddick's a top 5 original Xbox game for me. So
fuck
yeah. Those guys are just like, Microsoft has a few of these now in their stable where Machine Games never missed, Playground Games never missed, id Software doesn't miss. Like, they've got some seriously talented studios.
Obsidian rarely misses.
Obsidian is prolific.
On fire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like there's a lot of talent under the umbrella now, and it's just cool to see after we basically were starved for the entire Xbox One generation, like desperate for anything.
Oh man, it's funny really how it all shakes out.
Now, I'm mindful of the time, so I wouldn't mind getting to the questions we've got for Ryan, but I do want to quickly ask him, while we've been talking about id and Wolfenstein and all that, do you, like I, think that it's possible Doom the Dark Ages started as the Quake reboot and then became Doom the Dark Ages?
I had the same thought you did, because I actually asked Hugo Martin that very question on camera.
Oh, really?
He says no. He denies that. But I wondered the same thing, where it's just like, yeah, maybe, because Doom, as you guys know, like, the storyline wrapped up at the end of Eternal and the 2 DLCs. Like, and so, yeah, were they going to go back and do Quake? But I don't know if they ever actually started a Quake project, or if it was the Dark Ages the whole time. But yeah, I couldn't help but share your thought on that when that game was first rumored. Like, oh, really? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely has that vibe, that medieval vibe.
They had the Doom
I'd
Year
love to see
1
them
name for a while. So
yeah, I'd love to see them take a crack at rebooting Quake in the way that they've rebooted Doom. That would be really neat.
Amazing.
Maybe.
We've got a super chat from one of our grand benefactors, Shashin. Ryan says Indy is his favorite now, but Ryu Hayabusa and the new kid Yakuma would like us a word with him in October. Good to see you here, Ryan.
I played Ninja Gaiden 4, whatever that was, 2 weeks ago, right after the Xbox showcase. It was my favorite thing that I played out of any of those events at that time. I said as much in my preview that's on IGN or on YouTube right now, and oh my god, it just made me so happy. Like I love the series. Don't love Ninja Gaiden 3 after Itagaki-san had left,
No.
And you know, three was not awesome, and that like that's where we left off with mainline Ninja Gaiden. I mean, we got like was it Yaiba and Z or whatever, but yeah, 3 is where we'd left off for over a decade, and so coming back for 4, that was such a cool reveal at the developer direct. And the fact that like they're buddying up with Platinum, who like if you're gonna outsource Ninja Gaiden, which is mostly what they're doing. Like I actually asked that question at the showcase, you know, in that hands-on session. There was a Q&A session at the end. I said, so what's kind of the division of labor here? And it is Platinum's show, and Team Ninja's kind of just producing. They're guiding them basically. Platinum's a hell of a choice, and it seems like from the 25 minutes I played, which is by no means enough to make a call, but I just all I wanted to do was keep playing when the 25 minutes was over. So it was so much fun.
It killed me because I was in that building and I did not have previews for NG4, Grounded 2, or Outer Worlds 2, and I'm like, man, like poking my head around the corner trying to see. So I envy you, but I'm looking forward to playing it when it releases later this year. So as Nick mentioned, we have some community questions. This is something that our patrons get to exclusively ask, as being patrons is a benefit to them. So
while we still have Ryan, I'd like to get to them.
And just ask the question part, not the meandering part on some of them.
Yes. And then if Ryan decides that he's enjoying his time here so much that he can abandon his family a bit longer, then that's completely okay too. Now, I want to go to the ones that are like very directly for Ryan. Okay, so the first one we're going to, Jesse, is MonkeyVsTramps. That's a new patron. I don't know that name.
Yeah, well, we had 100 new ones thanks to a couple weeks ago. One of our patrons gifted 100 subs, which was kind of crazy.
Question for Ryan. Since it has been many years since your Alien Isolation review, do you think
are we really still fucking talking about this in 2025? Like, it's kind of a you problem.
I agree with you, Ryan. It sucks. It's a terrible
in 2025, game. Like, I don't care anymore. I just like finish the one. You know what? Sorry. Finish the question.
He's not begging you. He's not begging you.
It is comical to me that this still comes up all these years later. Go ahead.
Do you think now may be a good time to revisit it before the new Alien Earth series begins?
Oh, I mean, I'll watch the show, sure, but no. So
you never know. You might like it this time. He says.
Here's my thing. I think I am of the opinion, because first of all, Alien Isolation is too damn long. It's a 5-hour game stretched to 18 hours. I think that most people that love that game did not finish the game because the ending sucks. It goes on too long, and it's just you're just fighting droids for like the last while, and it's terrible. If you've loved the game, fine, that's great. Guess what? Opinions are awesome. You can love a video game that I might not. And like, I just said, Indiana Jones, I think, is the best thing that Microsoft's published this entire generation. You may be like or you may think Indiana Jones is boring. That's okay. It's fine. And also, it is funny to me that there were other outlets that gave it like 6s. Like I think GameSpot and maybe Polygon at the time. Like, but for some reason, I guess because I dipped down into the 5.9 back when we had the 100-point scale. I get all the guff from it, but it's fine. I
also think a part of it is that heavy lies the crown thing, because IGN is obviously the biggest outlet with the most sway, both on Metacritic and all that sort of stuff. I think that obviously played a role.
There are a lot of 6s
as well.
I remember the first time that I was in a room with the PR team from Sega, the publisher of that game, after that review. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to be mad. They were totally fine. Nobody, because I've had developers mad at me before. Like that's because of reviews. I guess I just out of professionalism, even though it's forever ago, I won't name names, but like I've been in that situation where a publisher's mad at me for a review that I gave of a video, an opinion I gave of a game. But no, like Sega was fine. So it's like, it is funny to me. And also one of the biggest tweets, like in terms of engagement, whatever, which is a gross term that I hate, but one of the biggest tweets I've had in years was when there was that soft announcement of Alien Isolation 2, like however many months ago that was. And I very obviously jokingly tweeted, I said, oh, I should review it just to watch the internet meltdown. And like that got so many retweets and which, by the way, I'm probably not going to. I think I would probably get death threats. Unless I gave it like a 10
You're
out of 10,
banned
so.
from reviewing that game. I won't let you.
The one to stay away from if you don't like a game are From Software fans, because I didn't like Armored Core 6 and I had 4 straight months of death threats.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Alien Isolation, I just get a kick out of it at this point because it's literally been over a decade. Like we are past the decade mark on it. So it's funny to me.
Remember that saying, the internet never forgets.
Well, except most of the time it does. Like it's just sort of that weird. The internet has both the shortest memory ever, but on occasion the longest memory ever.
Well, I'm happy to admit I was one of the few that did adore Alien Isolation, and funnily
I'm
enough,
happy for you.
Still agree with most of the criticisms, yet still love the game.
Did you finish it?
Yep,
you did. Okay,
that's PS4.
All right.
Yep.
That's all I ask is that you finish the game. If you're gonna
did you skip every cutscene?
Yes.
Yes, he skips cutscenes. His opinion is worthless.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, he had no idea what he was doing. Just every cutscene.
Alan Wake 2, his game of the year, had no idea what was going on.
Madness.
Nope.
You got time for one more? I would probably go with good old Collingwood.
Yes, that's the one I'm going with. Happy Solstice weekend, John, Nick, and Jesse, and welcome, Ryan. Ryan, you have a very storied career in gaming journalism. You have met many, many developers and studio heads over decades of game coverage. I wondered, has any developer given you the honor of naming a game character after you? If so, which character and game? If not, what game would you like your character to appear in? Would you like coming to blows with Ryu Hayabusa in Ninja Gaiden? Or man up with Marcus and Dom in Gears of War E-Day? Or be a mad scientist from the formerly evil company Ominent in Grounded 2? The gaming world is your oyster. And after you answer that, he does have one little add-on question, but I'll let you answer that first.
I love that question. That's great. So officially, as far as I know, the answer is no. But unofficially, and I don't know if we have the ability to pull it up here or
Probably.
not, but
have a crack, Jesse.
So I always suspected, because if you look at this character, you're going to be like, come on.
Oh, I think I know who you're going to say.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're going to say. Yes.
Vaughn from Tales from the Borderlands looks exactly like me. Like,
yes.
Exactly. The hair is parted the same. Like I'm a dead ringer, Vaughn is a dead ringer for me. And I always was like, is this on like nobody and then Telltale, like, I could never get an answer for that one. But yeah, if you Google image search Vaughn, Tales of the Borderlands.
He's up now.
Yeah, so it's just
I thought it while I played it, and then listened to Unlocked.
I forget the name of the guy that it's like semi-famous dude that they got to voice him. And I was always like, you could have asked me
Chris
to voice.
Hardwick.
Thank you. Yes, Chris Hardwick. I wish they'd have asked me to voice me in Tales from the Borderlands. And I will say my one of my dreams, like I have a few like bucket list items I'd still like to check, even after 22 years plus doing this. I want to interview Miyamoto. That's a dream. And I want to voice a character in a game. I've always wanted to voice. I was very jealous of, in a nice way, of my former IGN coworker, Alana Pierce, who got to be a voice in Gears of War 5. She got to do a voice cameo there. So yeah, I've always wanted to do VO for something. So, but as far as I know, I've never like been in any game, which is fine. I'm not asking for that. I don't think I like deserve that, or it's not some crime that I haven't been. I think really Keely's the only guy through his buddy Kojima who's straight up been in a game as like himself. So I'm not saying
if we ever, yes, fine. John, I know what you're doing, John.
I don't know if you know we did this, Ryan. So like to stay alive as a small independent publication, we diversified a little bit. We did the book for the original Xbox book back in 2020, nice. Which is sitting proudly on Phil's shelf, and I think in the engineering building in Redmond. We also did Console Wars, the card game, which I don't know if you've seen this, right? But if we ever get to the point where we're actually getting to make that into a digital video game, I will find a way. I will find a way to get you in as a voice line in some capacity. I don't know how, but I will do my best. Like we hope that will happen one day, obviously. But
immortalize you in a video game.
If you haven't had a chance to play that, Ryan, I did send out a press release to IGN, and I think they covered it in terms of this exists.
Oh, good.
But if you ever want to actually play it, just drop me your address, man, and I'll get one shipped to you. If you like sitting around, few beers and some card games, I think you'd have a good time with it.
Awesome.
Now,
good stuff.
The add-on question from good old Collingwood, the little add-on question, and arguably the most important. He says, P.S. Remembering the 1990s, were you ever a fan of the popular sitcom Friends?
Oh, that Nick cut out. That whatever music Jesse has gone bad. Bad things.
Jesse's got the music. Yeah, turn the music.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Something about the 90s.
You sound fine.
Yeah, do you like Friends?
Do you like Friends? The sitcom Friends?
I would say I like, but don't love Friends. I'm not like a super fan. I enjoyed the show when it was on, but I wouldn't call myself a super fan. But so yes, I like it.
Well, that's something.
That'll do me. That'll do me. It's kind of like a running joke on the Xbox Era podcast because Nick and I are big Friends fans. We grew up on that stuff. It's often an argument between that and Seinfeld and all that.
So are you guys? Who's a Joey? Who's a Chandler?
Chandler, obviously.
Okay.
Oh, whatever, man.
Come on, bro. I've got the British wit.
I am probably Monica.
I would probably be a Ross, I guess, if I thought about it for 5 seconds.
Hi.
You gotta be a little bit more melancholy to be Ross, I reckon.
Yeah, that is funny. How are you doing for time, Ryan? Because we've got a couple more community questions, but if you've got to shoot.
Yeah, let's finish the community questions since they were nice enough to send those in.
No worries. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Which one do we go to next, Jesse?
Didact Brew.
Okay. Next question. Didact Brew 3. Hey, gentlemen, what a get. Ryan is a legend, no doubt. But sorry, a Halo reboot is a terrible idea. So anyways, my question this week is about how the Xbox community will evolve after being with a traditional console with exclusives. Nintendo and Sony fostered their brands and community for a long time on this traditional model. What will happen here with Xbox? Fandom around a store, much like Steam, is or just disband branching out into their large array of big franchises communities? I think I get that last part. I ask this because big publishers alone do not get fanfare as a traditional console maker does. We don't have Tencent, Ubisoft, or EA podcasts out there, for example. Right. Would love Ryan's perspective on this if possible. Can't wait to have Don Matrick on the podcast.
So wait, what's the question then about?
So it's basically how would fandom be affected post this shift? Like, so if Microsoft were to move away from consoles eventually and more to being a platform that's everywhere, how would that, I guess, affect the fandom space? Because it's not like we have EA podcasts for fans of EA or Ubisoft podcasts for fans of Ubisoft. How would that shift happen, do you think?
That's a good question. I mean, if they're not putting out hardware at some point, then then it'd be like having a Sega podcast in 2025. You'd just be talking about their games, which, okay, if you love Sega games, they put out a wide variety of them. There's nothing wrong with having some fandom for that. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's true that Gears, I'm fully convinced that Gears of War E-Day is absolutely 1000% coming to PlayStation 5. It's just a question of whether it's going to be day and date, or if if Microsoft will throw a little exclusivity window on it, like they did for Indiana Jones. Now that could be a totally separate business arrangement, because they had to make a deal with Disney / Lucasfilm on that, whereas Gears of War, they can do whatever the heck they want with. But that's why, that's why Gears is a prequel. I'm convinced like they left 5 on a cliffhanger for God's sake. And so for them to walk away from that, it had to be a pretty significant reason. And that reason is probably, well, we don't want to try and onboard PlayStation players off of a cliffhanger to 5 games they didn't play. Anyway, maybe the Xbox community would slowly kind of dissolve / dissipate if Microsoft stops making hardware at some point and really isn't a platform maker anymore, and chooses to just be basically the largest software publisher in the industry. I guess that I don't know if I would want to keep doing an Xbox podcast if they're just a software publisher.
Yeah, we've asked ourselves exactly the same question, and apparently that's us giving up and like losing the console or whatever. It's very silly, but it's a candid question, right? If they're just a publisher, but then in my mind I'm like, but there are thousands of Destiny focused podcasts and Minecraft focused podcasts, so like there's a middle ground.
There was even a marathon podcast for an episode.
For one episode. Oh dear. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's about right. It's gonna be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Where's the next one?
Our friends at Kinda Funny already took the step of not doing an Xbox podcast anymore and just talking more about games. Like I couldn't blame them for it. So yeah, it's interesting as again, all these signature Xbox franchises get put on other platforms. There is something that's lost with that. Yeah. Obviously Microsoft's in it for money, not for sentimental feelings about platforms. So
definitely not.
That's how it's going to go.
I will never not find it hilarious that Snowbike Mike invited me onto the Xcast 2 days before it was cancelled. He invited me on. He's like, come on the show. I watch XboxEra podcast. Come on the show. I'm like, cool. I'd love to be on your show. We're not doing an Xcast anymore. Jesus.
Well done, Nick. Jeez.
Okay. Yes, I got it cancelled. Next question is from Grand Benefactor Ashashin. Hello to John, Nick, Jesse, and Ryan. If he's still there, he is here. It's getting hot, and to be honest, I'm glad summer is when studios and publishers decide to give us a break. Give us time to catch up on our backlogs. Although this year Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Mafia the Old Country will have my attention for some of it. My question to you older gents, and John, what do you guys normally do to game in the summer? Do you go through the backlogs, or do you enjoy basking in the sun waiting for the fall releases? I'm sure you'll be patiently waiting for Ubisoft to show off Splinter Cell remake sometime this summer as a surprise, Ryan. What do you know, Nick? Thanks you guys for all you do. Thank you, Assassin. Yeah. What do you guys do in the summer for gaming?
If there's nothing out, then I'll just keep playing whatever I've been playing. But as the listener there mentioned, that's not the case this summer. I mean, it's I'll tell you, I know we're on an Xbox podcast. I went from interested to really fired up for Donkey Kong Bonanza after that 15-minute direct that they showed.
It was good.
That really kind of got into some of the gameplay systems of that game. Like I'm pretty surprised and kind of sad that it doesn't seem like we're getting that next mainline 3D Mario game this fall, which I thought for sure, because it's the 40th anniversary of the release of Super Mario Brothers for the NES in the US. It was like, and it's also been 8 years since Odyssey. And so since that seems like it's not happening because Nintendo probably would have announced it by now, Donkey Kong Bonanza I think it's going to scratch that itch a little bit.
It looks great.
And then, yeah, Mafia. I'm a big Mafia fan. I reviewed the first one for OXM. It was a port of the already existing PC version for Xbox, but I love the game. And then I reviewed Mafia 2 for OXM. Love that as well. Didn't super love Mafia 3 that just went kind of full open world because open worlds I just get I don't have a lot of patience for because
I'm with you, bro. I hate them.
Open world games outside of Rockstar tend to be jack of all trades, master of none, and it's just like I don't have time for that. I just like I like that the old country is going back to how the first two Mafia games were in being more just story driven linear games. So there's some genuinely really cool stuff to look forward to this summer. Also, the preview version of Grounded 2 is dropping in July as well. Yep. So yeah, it's a pretty darn busy summer, and can't complain about that.
It's too much. It's too much to cover.
Okay. Last question that is for Ryan.
Maybe just read the question.
Before we get him to host the game show, eh?
No.
So just read the question.
Just the question to Ryan because there's a lot around it.
Okay, the question to Ryan. Is the Xbox tax real in the big journalist space you're in? As in, whenever a big reporter writes /reviews /talks about Xbox in the most casual way possible, despite them trying to be neutral on the topic, to tick off the Xbox community, but don't critically talk about PlayStation /Nintendo in the same way. You may not answer this question due to legal reasons or rules set by Ziff Davis on you guys, but I'm curious to hear your side. Respect your works and hope to see more.
There are no... My corporate overlords do not set guidelines for anything that I say about games or publishers or platforms. No,
that's good.
If I want to get myself canceled, I'm fully have that within my own power.
Carte blanche to get canceled.
But no, yes. I think the Xbox tax is absolutely a fabrication of the imaginations of people that maybe care a little too much about this stuff sometimes. And no, it's especially the reviews. That's like anybody that would accuse Xbox games of getting lower scored reviews. I believe our reviews editor Dan Stapleton has proven that out. Has like actually done the math on that. No, I don't. And also I feel like the Xbox tax thing was a conversation from like a year or two ago. I don't hear anybody talking about that anymore. Thank God.
No, it got brought up by too many salacious folks that a lot of people just laugh when you bring it up now.
I think we've said it on this show before, and the general mantra that we've found from our kind of like as we've worked into the industry has been that I think it would be fairer to say that a lot of Xbox games get actually reviewed, actually genuinely critiqued, and sometimes there's a little bit more of like a skirting over of Nintendo as an example. Love Nintendo, and that love and that nostalgia still kind of just ekes in over the top versus the least favorite platform. I think that would be probably the best way I could put it. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I hope you're not putting IGN in that group.
No, heaven forbid. Dan Stapleton's 7 for Starfield is perfectly justified.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it's there's plenty, like the Xbox tax thing always cracked me up because it's like we're doing an Xbox podcast at IG. Like I can't speak for anybody else in any other corner of the media space, but as far as IGN goes, it's like we've continued to do an Xbox podcast since before I got here. So we've been doing an Xbox podcast for I don't even know how long it is, 15, 20 years at this point, and 13 of them are me. If there were really like an Xbox tax, there wouldn't be an Xbox podcast on IGN, and then it'd be like, well, you only have a PlayStation podcast, and maybe you'd have a leg to stand on there. And by the way, I'm not saying whoever asked that question, this is not directed at them. I know they're just raising the question, but
I think it's more broader. We're all human beings. All human beings have bias and favorites and things they like. That's how opinions work. They're formed by the experiences of our past. That's why
you want to do objective reviews.
Yeah, I did say a joke like people like your reviews should be objective, and it's like that's an insane request. Can you imagine how boring an objective review is?
An objective review is literally a fact sheet for a game. That says,
I wanted to do a whole
2
YouTube
to 4
channel
players, supports 4K. Like that's an objective review because that's all.
It's so silly. Like and hearing that kind of conversation, it does make us giggle a bit. So I'm conscious, like that's all of the community questions that were specifically directed towards you, and you've given us an additional 20 minutes of your time. So we're very, very grateful. Before we let you go, because you've got some family things to do on a lovely Saturday evening, where can people find? They already know where they can find you, but please pimp some stuff out. Go nuts.
Well, I'll say if you're interested in Dying Light the Beast, we have a month's worth of exclusives on that. So I started this thing 10 years ago called IGN First. And what that is it's kind of a throwback to my magazine days where some of my favorite work to do at OXM was the rare time when I would have the privilege of doing our cover story. Like whatever game was going to be on the cover, I flew to the developer, got to see a bunch of the game, maybe play a bunch of the game, talk to the developers. And that was the cover of the magazine. And that was always such an honor to me and such a thrill. And after I got to IGN, I was like, well, is there a way we could do this in the online space? And so I came up with this IGN First thing where it's basically, the game is, we do usually 6 to 8 total things on that game throughout the month, basically like taking a 12-page cover story and kind of piecemealing it out over the course of a calendar month to kind of echo what you get a magazine once a month. Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is, and it's been going for 11 years. Our first one was we revealed Forza Horizon 2.
Wow.
That was the one.
I remember that actually. That was the Italy one, wasn't it?
That was the south of France. Yeah. I got to go to Playground for that. That was a good time. Anyway, so the IGN First game for this month is Dying Light the Beast. So we've got a bunch of like exclusive footage and some other videos and some stuff. So if you're interested in Dying Light the Beast, you can see all that on IGN or our YouTube channel. And again, I would just say, I would give another plea to your audience to support you guys. Seriously.
Have Ryan on more.
If you had fun on this, if people had fun watching this, listening to this, just jump in, hit that $3 just base level Patreon tier before they up it to $5. After this, they're going to up it to $5. So get in now while it's still free. That's all I'm saying, because it's about to be $5. No, I'm kidding. It's whatever you guys decide to do with it. But thank you guys for having me. And
thanks for making the time, mate.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what awesome. I want to do? You know what my next goal will be? And I'm serious right now. I want to get, because we've had Destin on once or twice, I want to get Ryan and Destin on at the same time. That's what we need to do next.
Hasn't the world had enough of the two of us together on
the
podcast?
reunion?
No, I'm kidding.
Not the Xbox community, though. The Xbox community wants both of you. We need to go like more OG podcast unlocked here.
I'm all for it. Any podcast I get to do with Destin is a good time for me. So.
Yeah, I met him at SGF. He's
Very
cool.
good.
Also, my cat stepped on a button, so sorry about that noise.
Very good.
Oh, and really quick, we had a super chat a long time ago from Arsal, who was with us at Summer Game Fest. He said, "Yo, Ryan, saw you in LA, but didn't get a chance to say hi. Hope you're having a good day and great to see you here." He's one of our best crew members here.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, Ryan McCaffrey, thank you ever so much for joining us on today's episode.
Yes, thanks for
we
your
will
time.
see you next time, perhaps. We'll invite you again for sure. And we'll definitely be clipping that Patreon ad. We'll put that in a YouTube short or something.
Do it.
Look what Ryan McCaffrey says.
Yeah.
Just listen to him. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, man. Thanks so much.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks heaps, mate.
And there we go. That was Ryan McCaffrey.
And that's we're on the
first
three people.
time on the Xbox Era podcast. That was so cool of him to jump on and hang out with us. That was a good laugh. He's absolutely right about Patreon. You all should. If 1,000 of you did it, we would make all the difference in the world. There are some things I did want to quickly cover off. I'm glad you got to Ursal. We also had 5 gifted memberships from Korkenstein come in.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
We also had Brandon Martin join as an Xbox Era supporter. So thank you, Brandon. We had a couple of super chats. We had Nation Harris. What happens to the Xbox game standard if it's PC?
Or Xbox Game Pass Standard Edition. If everything's a PC.
What he means, or does he mean
Game Pass, or the standard
games?
is in not this? I don't know if he means the standard of Xbox games. I was thinking in my head more the standard as in from a development perspective.
There's just missing the word Xbox Game Pass Standard if it's PC. Because Xbox Game Pass Standard is online play and that old library.
I'm saying development. I'm saying from a development perspective.
I think he's talking about Xbox Game. Forgot the word pass standard.
I disagree. Okay. I think he's asking about if there's, this is an Xbox game and it runs on an Xbox disc and it has to run on an Xbox. What happens to those if it's a PC? I don't know the answer to that question yet. Your back-compat will only work with Xbox hardware. I don't think it...
Nation Harris is saying that's right from a developer point of view. See, Nation, I got you, mate. I understand English. These two don't. I get you, mate.
I was agreeing with you.
I get you, Nation Harris. Don't worry about these two. I understand.
God, you guys.
I can read English good. Okay, and I get it. Yeah. So yes, from a development, because think about it, if the next
just
Xbox
talked about that.
What?
That they're moving to just the Windows dev environment. That there's only one dev environment, it's Windows, and then it gets locked down to settings for Xbox hardware.
But some people have brought up a good point though. Like if the next Xboxes play Steam and Epic games, I've seen people ask this question, and I do understand the question somewhat, which is, what is a developer's incentive to develop an Xbox port of a game if the next Xbox just plays the Steam version?
Because they don't have to make an Xbox port for their game.
What do you mean?
They don't have to.
I know. I get like.
You mean the dev environment? When the dev environment, because you're making a Steam game, means you're making a Windows PC game, and it's the Windows PC store.
Yeah.
Their aim is to make Their aim is to make it so that your PC version that you make works on everything. It works on GOG. It works on Steam. It works on Microsoft Store.
But specifically, an Xbox version of the game would have Xbox achievements.
It would have play anywhere.
You have Steam achievements. It would be the same ones. Like
I know, but they require two different versions of the game.
Two different versions of the game still.
Yeah. But I guess the point is, from Microsoft's point of view, is it is just a PC game still. You've got to tweak a few things here. You're doing that already. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. So the incentive is there's a whole bunch of customers here. Oh, and you might have a Game Pass deal. Oh, and we use Play Anywhere. And customers like that. I don't know.
And unlike Steam, they only take 12%, not 30%.
There's that too. There's the other incentive. They charge the developer less in terms of the cut from the site.
The majority of Steam games, Jordy Jensen, are PC. It's like 2% of Steam users are on Linux. So if you're making a Steam game, you're making a PC game.
Yeah. Next, where is it? Ashashin. No. Ashashin. We have we have a super chat from Ashashin. Current rumor is Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming from a spin-off team from the mainline 3D Mario team. If true, maybe Nintendo will announce that in the rumored direct this month. There could be a chance, fellas. Maybe. I may have heard a little something about a Nintendo Direct. But I'm going to... Nintendo rumors right now I don't think are a good thing to go near. I'm going to stay away because...
Nintendo's furious this generation about everything, so steer clear.
I may have received a little shifty DM or two about something related to Nintendo. Next super chat is from P Lump. Stop everything. Play my theme song. Mate, I'd play it if I had it. What's your theme song? I don't know what your theme song is.
Is it Lump by the President of the United States of America? She's Lump.
I doubt it.
She's Lump. She's
I
Lump.
hate that song.
She's
I
in my
definitely couldn't play it if it was.
You hate that song? That song hates you,
I hate
man.
I hate it too.
Why do you
I hate
hate
that
that song?
What would I like?
Because my taste in music is exquisite.
Bro, Pot USA were great back in the day.
P Lump, send me a link to your theme song. I don't know what your theme song is. It's Voodoo Child.
Is it?
Voodoo Child? That's not... Wait.
No.
Voodoo Child?
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, we definitely can't play it.
Oh, okay.
Not Voodoo People, Nick.
Yeah, I had Voodoo People in my head. Yeah. Oh, what a song. That's such a good song.
Question.
What?
The Pendulum remix is the better version. Yes?
I don't know. What's the Pendulum remix? Hold on.
Bro. The original
Pendulum
Prodigy,
remix?
right?
Yeah.
Pendulum did a remix of it. It's so much cooler.
Pendulum mix. Let me have a listen to this. Hold on.
Well, I'll read the next one from Assassin with $5 US. Here's a better way to put it, Nick. Why buy anything from the Xbox or Windows Store when you can just buy from Steam? Wouldn't they lose money? Casuals just use the default store. So if Xbox is the default store, it's what almost everyone's going to use. They will bank on that.
Oh my God, you like that Pendulum mix better.
Mate, you yes.
Ew, brother, ew. What's that? Ew, brother, ew.
It's a very popular version, mate.
Oh, that was yucky.
And then a $3 Australian super chat from Scott the Oz. Xbox would make money licensing chips / tech to OEM.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking when we were talking about that, about where their money would come from. Like a device like that, Gabe would very much like a device that has the potential to sell 10 times more than a Steam Deck, having Steam store on there, so they'd get right behind it. So I feel like a lot of those publishers, like EA have their store, GOG have their store, all those companies would really support a device like this.
Yeah, I mean, just Windows, they wouldn't be able to tell it no, essentially, anyways. It's just more, can you talk about, can you use them in your advertising and stuff is normally like the friendly business part of it. But again, like I said to Ryan, it's a super long-term plan to try and be able to get the Xbox store everywhere. Like that's the future they're going for. And so they will sacrifice a bit now because consoles aren't growing. And so you really try and push with regulators. You can just be like constantly like, hey, look, they were super scared we were going to make everything exclusive. We've done the exact opposite. Why don't we make everything not exclusive anymore? Wink, wink.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. I just want to call these out as well because they're in the list. God Emperor Sofa King has been a member for 7 months.
Yes.
He says Xbox
butter. Butter emoji, butter emoji, butter emoji, butter emoji, butter emoji. Xbox expansion pass. Luke is here. Good to see you guys. Hope you're all well. I think we are well. I mean, John's not well in the head, but we're all well. P Lump with another super chat. For those in the chat saying, who is he? Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Hollywood P Lump, Mitch. Isn't that supposed to be bitch?
Maybe he doesn't swear.
Maybe. But
you might not
like
be able to swear in a super chat.
I swear. So I'm saying
you might not be able to do it in a super chat.
I like the cut of his jib. Yeah. I do.
Is that a fact, Jack?
It is.
I haven't said that on the podcast before, but I say it all the time in real life.
Is that a fact, Jack?
I say it to my kids. I'm like, is that a fact, Jack?
Oh, dear. It's lovely to see everybody, by the way. Don't forget to hit like on the show. If you enjoyed it so far, it does help us out. Wasn't Ryan lovely?
as Ryan begged for you guys to join our Patreon.
As he said, both and one F word and one S word.
He did.
Yeah.
It was. He's freed the shackles of the Ziff Davis.
Your little childlike
Davis.
laugh as he swore.
The Ziff Davis shackles that he just broke so he could swear.
Yeah.
Now, are we now going to go back?
The regular
all the
beginning
way
of our
back?
show. Yep.
Yeah, the regular beginning of our show, which is what have we been playing?
Well, yes, we would do that, Nick. But you know what? We're going to do that after a word from us. Because
From our
that's what we
sponsors,
do.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Yes, we're back. And the advert is correct. The best way you can support Xbox Era is by heading to patreon.com/XboxEra. Now, yeah, Nick, let's talk about some video games. We've talked a little bit about some of the big news pieces with Ryan.
I forgot.
Yeah, what have you been
I've got
playing this week, buddy?
Oh, wrong one. God damn it. Where is it? Here? There. I always forget the news music. God damn it. I just want to play because I like it.
News.
I know. We already did it for the most part. But what have we been playing? Give that news to people.
Well, you know what? This is almost an infusion of news and what have we been playing, because I've been playing 2 games this week.
Oh, shit.
2 games.
Shocking news.
It's like news because I don't play games. So for those of you who saw my horrible review that I hated and didn't want to put up, despite it being arguably my most viewed review ever somehow, I don't know how, I played Rematch. AKA Rocket League, but with humans. I had some interesting time with Rematch. Like, let me just say this up front. And if anyone from Slow Clap happens to be watching, I'm in their press Discord. We're making a lot of suggestions in there. Let me just say up front, I love the game. I do love the game. I've been playing it almost nonstop since I got it. I've got Jason roped in. I've got Carlos roped in. Even my son saw me playing it and he's like, ooh, this looks really cool, Baba. I'm like, it is very cool, buddy. But with my score, so I gave it a 7.5, which I know on the modern day scale is like trash. It's not trash, but I was very torn on how to score this game. Like, I didn't pay for it. Yeah, I didn't pay for Rematch. I got the Elite Edition for free. And the game is in somewhat rough shape at the moment, and it's also quite a bare bones package. Like, so it got a day one patch, which kind of addressed a lot of the issues, but a lot of the issues are still there despite it. So if I had paid the 65 Australian dollars for the Elite Edition for early access, during the early access period, it was even rougher. Like, if I had paid $65 for that, I'd be annoyed. So a part of me wanted to give it a lower score because of how bare bones it is while they're charging for it, and also how buggy it is. But then the other part of me that cares the most about gameplay, I'm like, this game is amazing. I want to give it a 9. So I decided to fall somewhere in the middle, because obviously people value different things. But from a gameplay perspective, I adore it. It's got a very steep learning curve. And despite how the game looks, this is as close to a soccer sim as we're going to get. Like, it's very, it can be very, very difficult and jarring to play because everything is so manual and you have to think about everything you are doing and aim everything, and it's just, but it's so rewarding once you get it, and once it clicks, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And when you pull off amazing moves and kick great goals and all that sort of stuff, it's so good. And visually, it's amazing. It's just, yeah. Rematch. I mean, most of us watching this show would be Game Pass subscribers. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber on Ultimate, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Go and download it and give it a go. If you're not on Game Pass, so if you're on PlayStation or PC, I understand that. And I do my best not to shit on games and to be as constructive as possible. If you have to pay for Rematch, just go into it understanding that I feel you are ultimately paying for the potential this game has for the future.
I think a lot of people are used to that.
Phrase it.
Yeah, people are pretty used to that. I think with these types of live service games, when it's out there and it's like very obvious, this is going to be. Wow, how did you miss that shot? This is a live service game.
You find you will miss a lot of shots like that. This is what I'm saying. The game is like you look at it and you go, Nick, how did you miss that shot? But like your right stick has to be where you want the ball to go, but at the same time, you also need to look at where the ball's coming from. It's hard and it's jarring. It takes a lot of getting used to. But yeah, it's sort of like you're kind of paying for the potential. And you might say, oh, but Rocket League wasn't free either. Yeah, but Rocket League was cheaper at launch and had more content at launch.
It was on PS Plus, like it launched on PS
Yes, just
Plus.
like how this is launching on Game Pass, same thing. Yes, but
the potential is really high.
It is, and that's ultimately what your well, for Australia, $35. That's ultimately what your $35 is getting you. You're buying into potential for later down the track, because I'm sure this game will, as a package, I'm sure Rematch will be something awesome in a year or two, maybe more. But right now, it's difficult to justify the upfront cost for what it is right now. But if all you give a shit about is playing a really good soccer game, fuck yeah, it's sick.
So, like on that note, has this joined the
Yes,
library of Fortnite?
It's joined the rotation.
Wow,
it has joined the rotation.
That's a big deal for you.
Again, though, I didn't pay for it. So the people who watch this that are Game Pass subscribers, yeah, you'll love it. I think you'll love it once you get the hang of it and you retrain your brain to play this game, because you have to. If we've all been playing the same kinds of soccer games, football games for 30 years, this one is very, very different.
And to answer Amit Kumar,
such incredible fun.
Eventually, it will have crossplay. It does not have it yet.
They did intend for it to have crossplay at launch, but they couldn't get it there. It is coming, and there's more stuff coming. Like they said, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this publicly. Bot matches,
there's more.
All the stuff. Yeah, all the stuff people want, like bot matches and all that sort of stuff, they are all coming. They're all planned to be coming. And that's why I said you're paying for the potential of this game. So as long as you understand that going in, you should be fine. Almost think of it like an investment. I know that's a horrible thing to say about a video game, but almost think of it like an investment.
Just your investment in Fortnite of getting to stare at Chun-Li's butt the whole time. That was your investment. Yeah. And it's coming back.
Chun-Li's coming back to the store, apparently, so make sure you buy her before she's gone again, because holy shit, that's an amazing view. What I have also been playing...
You're welcome.
And I've been so looking forward to this game. Like, I had a sneaking suspicion it was going to be part of ID at Xbox. So I messaged Jesse the other day. I'm like, if Tron Catalyst comes to ID at Xbox, can I grab it? So I started playing Tron Catalyst. Oh, boy. Oh, this is a good game. Like, I saw like an isometric, top-down action-y thing, and I'm like, man, this game looks so fun. It's got a lot of reading. That's the downside at the moment.
Yeah.
So it does allow you to speed through all the reading, which is good. And you can even adjust how quickly it speeds through it. So I've gone, cranked it all the way up to the fastest speed so that the reading can just skip through and let me play. But yes, I'm very much enjoying Tron Catalyst. Bithell, I think that's their name, Bithell Games, has done an incredible job translating the vibe of Tron Legacy. That aesthetic, the music, the sound, the vibe of Tron Legacy has been translated beautifully into video game form. I know it hasn't been scored by Daft Punk, but they've done a good job capturing the feel of Daft Punk's soundtrack from Tron Legacy. Like this is a really good video game. It really is. I reckon Jesse in particular would like it a lot.
It's interesting because I got early access for like a preview, but I couldn't get around to it in time. And I, like you, I was like, God, there's a lot of reading, and I was like, come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading.
But this was like what would it have been, like 2 months before launch, and I wasn't sure really how I felt about it. Like, and I'm still not sure if it's really for me. I know Fairy Empire on our team did the review. He gave it an 8. He really, really liked it.
Yep, that feels about right so far, based on what I've played.
But I've seen other reviews that have been less than kind, right?
Yeah, it's a 69 on OpenCritic right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
surprising.
I think
it's an acquired taste in some respects because of its isometric viewpoint and lots of reading. So I think, if you're going in there looking for action, bombastic Tron stuff, it's there, but you've got to
it is there.
You've got to peel back some layers to get to it first, right? Like,
and you ride the light cycle, and then
Yeah.
you can leave the trail behind to cut people off. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm really enjoying it a lot. And it's got like this self-imposed loop system. So it's almost like, in a weird way, a roguelike, but it's not.
Yeah.
So you use the loops. So the loop is something you can activate yourself, and you use those loops to go back to then access things you've now unlocked and changed. It's hard to explain. There's a bit of a headfuck element to it. But I'm like super enjoying it. Tron Catalyst. I'm loving it at the moment. And 8 to 8.5 to me right now feels about right.
Fair.
Fair. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, Tron Catalyst, man, it's cool as. I reckon you'd like it a lot, Jesse, because you also like reading.
I'm pretty good at it.
And there's so much reading in it. There's so much reading. But yes, I do enjoy it, despite the reading.
Yeah. Jesse, what have you been playing this week?
Me? Why, I played a little thing. I played with you that neither of us were that into, and I ended up nailing the meta and OpenCritic on it without thinking I was going to, which was FBC Firebreak, a game that doesn't bring over anything I liked about Control. It's set in the oldest house 6 years after Control. You're just a series of workers trying to clean it out, doing pretty basic co-op 3-player jobs. It's okay solo, unlike a lot of these types of games tend to be, but it is obviously a little better with friends.
Yeah.
It was immediately forgettable for me. Like, I went through, I saw everything I could. I tried every difficulty and modifiers, and it's the same 5 jobs with 4 tiers of difficulty, but once you've done the first 3, there's no point in ever doing them again, really. You should just go to tier 4 pretty much every time if you want to have any type of challenge.
It's very much like, it's a really competently made, very pretty multiplayer shooter.
Though it loses the cool thing about Control, which is the environment. The oldest house in this game is static. It's the same level every time you do it. It never changes. And you can't destroy it.
No, we did not say Control.
You did. You said Control.
It's an odd one. I I maybe it's just like a passion project internally at Remedy. Maybe it's something that they could quickly get out, and they've got a deal on PlayStation Plus and Game Pass for the game. So cool, bully for them. But it is just like
it runs into that games as a service problem where there is no hook here to keep people playing more than a weekend.
Yeah,
you can see everything in the game.
One and done.
Like, I don't think the cosmetic and equipment grind will keep anyone going. As you get into the harder levels, it's also really fast to get through now that they've patched it. And from that point on, like, they're not going to have different looking enough outfits for, I think, most people to ever want to spend any money in it. And that's the only way these games can keep existing, is if they figure out a way for long-term monetization on top of the initial cost. And in the same way that Helldivers has had a little bit of some issues with, making the monetization interesting. I don't think this is the type of thing you can yoink various big IP into and have the people playing it. I don't know if there's going to be like a super passionate community around this one. I might be surprised. It tends to happen a lot, but I would say in my dozens of hours that I ended up putting into it before launch, I saw everything I needed to see in the first two. My opinion never ended up changing. I wanted to play. I really like Remedy's games. I loved Control, but this one was a miss for me.
Yep.
I also reviewed, because I do too many of those, the DLC for Still Wakes the Deep, Siren's Rest. Speaking of things that were something I only need to see 2 hours of, it's because I beat it in 90 minutes. But I mean, I beat the base game in 3.5, 4 hours. So this takes us back. Spoilers for Still Wakes the Deep, I guess, but I mean, it's the entire premise. It takes place 11 or so years later, and you're now going through, as you can see on screen, the wreck of the Viradi, which was the place that the first game took place in. You go back there, you swim, you walk, you run, you jump, you get scared a little bit, you get some little tidbits of backstory, and then you're out. It's like $13. It's not expensive, but it's not long. I think it's got 2 endings. I enjoyed it a lot. Others haven't, just because of how short it is, but if you really want, I think you can get about 2 to 2.5 hours out of it if you explore everywhere. It also has been a little buggy for people. I played it on Xbox and I didn't have any issues, but you never know. And other than that, I tried Final Fantasy XVI. Amazing spectacle. Great music. Really bad writing and kind of boring gameplay. But I know, I can tell from the upgrade trees, the gameplay later on is going to be fun. But a complaint a lot of people have had, takes a long time to unlock the best parts of the gameplay, and then it is very fun to play.
That's a shame.
That's a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. I've been playing some weird things this week. I've joined you with some FBC Firebreak. I've been playing Tiny Glade again, which is that lovely little builder diorama relaxathon game. I haven't been able to play much this week. A lot of the gaming I have done has been in the last couple of days. But I tried out Mio, Memories in Orbit. You might remember this, I think, from the Summer Game Fest show.
It's a striking looking game. I really like the look.
It is very pretty. I've played a little bit of the demo. I'm getting Metroidvania platformery vibes, but it's like this gorgeous painted art style in this dead kind of robotic filled world. I'm super intrigued by it. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be a good one. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of that. It's a very limited demo as part of Steam Next Fest, but I think the demo is available on Xbox consoles as well. So you can definitely check it out. I don't know if it's coming this year or not, but
we've gotten so many emails about this one. That's always a little hint that it might be something they're pretty confident on and they really want to get people to actually check out. Because I think I've gotten like 30 emails on this game over the years.
I will probably, if it comes to the point where hey, there's a review code, I would probably happily take this one on. This is a good little game.
We also had a preview of Marvel Cosmic. Oh, wait, no, never mind. No,
oh, Arsal, another week gone by.
No Sonic Crossworld. I'm getting questions.
Oh, the Sonic Crossworlds preview. I was really looking forward to reading that.
Should have given me the Marvel one.
Were you going to fly to San Francisco? He played it in person.
Yeah.
If you guys paid for my ticket, I would have.
We would pay for, at the most, the cheapest ticket possible, because that's what we all had.
Yeah. It was a bit nice, Nick. But don't worry. When Arsal says he will meet the embargo, you can rest assured, sir. The other thing I've been playing, and this is weird.
I'll be reviewing Marvel Cosmic
I'm sure
Invasion.
You will be.
Fuck, I thought I will be.
I have been playing Batman Arkham Knight.
Great game.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I realized I owned it on Steam, and it's got ultra-wide support, and I remember it looking fantastic.
Yep.
But being like 30 FPS on my Xbox One, maybe?
Yeah, it was 900p and 30 FPS on everything on console.
Yeah. And I've been playing it on my ultra wide, and I am like, holy shit, this is a pretty game. Mm-hmm. And also, like, it just feels like a real, like, meaty, get stuck in, cool. It's just awesome. Yeah,
it was always an amazing game, and people are like, oh, I'd go back to it. Man. Like, I've played all three of them, like, I don't know, 5 times each. And Asylum is really cool if you're just super into the progression blocker stuff.
Asylum is just like a really good intro.
The story's kind of dumb Batman. Overall with Joker. Like, it's cool, but like the gameplay progression from the first to the second to the third, and I'm an idiot who doesn't mind all the Batmobile stuff. In fact, I quite like it.
Like the
boy Jesse says, "I'm an idiot."
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think the series got better to play as it went along. I really love going back and playing Arkham Knight.
I own Arkham City on Steam. Don't ask me why. That was the
fourth one that wasn't made by Rocksteady, right?
No, that's Origins.
Oh, okay.
Arkham City was the second one.
City was Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry, I was getting Origins is what I was thinking. But yes, I've played all three. I've completed all three.
I think the best mix of story and gameplay was City. But
City.
The best gameplay was Night. Like they had some really good improvements.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff in Night that I'm just like, just loving it. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that. It's lovely to see it, and like this is the kind of thing where I look at it, I'm like, games look good enough. When did that come out? 10 years ago?
Yeah, with incredibly their own offshoot of Unreal Engine 3.
Yeah, it looks great still. But hey, it's just me. That's about it, really. That's about all I have been playing. Yeah, and I know we've talked about all of the news, really. There's some other news.
Yeah, there's nothing major. I don't think, like we talked about the handheld, rumored for, pre-orders in August, release in October. Rumors about pricing, but who knows? It's whatever. Microsoft firing more people, Marathon delayed. It's not been a nice news word.
God, that's not a great, like, man. The Marathon thing, I feel like that's a bigger deal than...
Yeah, I would think the Marathon one would be the other one to talk about, because Marathon, as we had guessed, a lot of people had guessed once during their weird business video they put out that was all scripted. I don't know if you watched it, but it was really weird, because normally those are live Q&As, and this was a very obviously scripted, pre-recorded thing. We will have Marathon out in this fiscal year, which was a weird thing to say because it had a date at that point. And then, so it's no longer coming out in September. It's coming out by the end of their fiscal year. Yeah.
Whenever. It's basically, I would argue, it's basically indefinitely delayed.
Yeah, it doesn't have a date, and they've said it's not being changed. It's just going to be more feature complete. It's still going to be the same game. It's not a 3-year delay.
Like they'll shut up now. They won't say anything for a very, very long time. But I am of the opinion that it doesn't really matter what they do, to be honest. The only thing I think that would change people's minds would be if they came back and was like, oh, by the way, here's a 12-hour deep sci-fi story campaign. But even then,
I think the only thing now that could potentially sway or turn things is if they said, you know what, bugger it, it's free to play.
Yeah.
But then the entire delay would be to get that type of content pipeline ready, because that's always the hardest thing, from going from pay us up front and do some microtransactions here and there versus you don't pay us anything, but we really have all this shit that you're going to want to buy. Like, it's a completely different mindset for development.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's, you know what? It's giving me similar vibes to what happened with Titanfall 2 in a way. Like, remember Titanfall 2, the beta came, and a lot of the OG Titanfall fans just did not like it, and it kind of just set Titanfall 2 on this negative pathway, and it just never turned it around. Like, and then we had the release date, which was sandwiched between COD and Battlefield, and then we had the developers on social media kind of sort of shitting on Xbox fans and like propping up the PlayStation version, despite PlayStation gamers having not touched the first Titanfall. And it was just sort of one thing after another, and then that game just never really got off the ground, I guess. Like, it was just this weird situation.
One of the main issues with Titanfall 2 was every match was unbelievably sweaty, and even me, as somebody who got pretty good at it and really loved it, I couldn't play more than a couple multiplayer matches in a row. My brain was fried because it was just nonstop.
It was so
people
good,
just as good as me, and it's like I loved it, and I was really good at it, but I only had like so much that I could play, and then sometimes you just need to stomp or get stomped, or just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that.
And the release date was bad.
Marathon now feels like it's on that similar path where no matter what happens now, it's just not.
It's the Suicide Squad meets the Kills of Justice League, which was a really fun game and had a really good campaign. But then it never had a chance, and they didn't have any good content for it post-launch. So,
yeah. Now, and all I can think of now is what is happening with, if anything, with Fair Games now. Like, I just... it's nuts to think that everything that, like... So Sony's attempts at releasing a couple of successful games as a service games, and the only one that might wind up being really successful is the one they didn't make.
And the one they just dropped in February without any fanfare.
Yep. But that they didn't make themselves. They didn't even make it. Arrow, a third party, made it. It's, oh man, that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That might be all they get out of it, and that's it.
It's kind of depressing, right? I'd be depressed if I was Sony on that one.
Man, they had a great multiplayer game called Killzone Shadowfall, and it had cool monetization with funny emotes, and it had Killzone Shadowfall. For any of you that played it online, whatever you want to say about the campaign is whatever. The actual multiplayer of it was pretty good, man. Like, I really as a Halo fan, as a Titanfall fan, like, I actually didn't mind Killzone Shadowfall's multiplayer. I was grinding that shit nearly every day. I only have one trophy left for Killzone, which I can't get now because the servers were shut off. I only had one left before the platinum. I was grinding away at Shadowfall every day. And I really enjoyed the multiplayer in that game. And I'm like, why didn't Sony persist with this? Like, it was a multiplayer shooter, which they didn't have, with monetization and DLC and all these things. Anyway.
You could go on, right?
I could. I really like Shadowfall.
I know. I get it.
I'm fucking sick of this Horizon shit being forced down our fucking throat when they have other stuff.
Do you guys see my news story that I wrote last night? 1047 Games, Splitgate 2.
Yep.
Launched. They've now fired a small number of valued employees. I can say that I've heard that the total number of employees is anywhere between 10 to 15%.
How big is the studio?
Don't know.
Oh.
So that could be a small number of valued employees, but 10 to 15%. And, looking on LinkedIn, and I think, by the way, we were the first to report that story.
They are listed as 51 to 200 people on LinkedIn. So whatever that ends up being. Who knows?
Jesus.
Yeah.
How long is a piece of string?
But like all of the people I could see on LinkedIn going, I've been let go. None of them were in the marketing teams. No, they were all QA, producers, and it's like...
You mean the people that had almost nothing to do with the game's lukewarm reception?
Well, I mean, and I don't know if you saw the CEO or the two CEOs or co-founders are taking no salary while they get everything sorted. But like end of the day, whoever made the decisions, whether it was the CEO Ian,
get your hat on,
someone in marketing, to wear the Make FPS hat again, Make FPS Great Again hat, and slag off a load of other games and just be a bit edgy, kind of backfired on you there, bro.
I wonder how much they did. How much did they have to pay Jeff to destroy their game?
I have no idea, but it was not a good idea, was it?
And we were there in person, and I saw that hat, and I immediately was like, "What the fuck?" That just, I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you mean it. You know how people are going to take it.
The attitude, like the atmosphere in the room. And I've met Ian. He seemed like a nice guy, and he's come out and done video apologies, and he didn't mean it that way. Blah blah blah. But like, man, what? Well. Yeah.
Should we go to a game show?
Yeah, why not? Let's do a little bit of what year, my dear.
It is what year?
It is. What year, my dear?
That's right. Here at the XboxEra podcast, we love our patrons, don't we, guys? Right.
Who?
Jesse and I.
Now we've established that we all equally love them very, very much. One of the benefits of being
you don't love them as much as Ryan. I'm just gonna say that
Ryan loves them the most.
Ryan,
we should just have Ryan.
Ryan loves our patrons more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the benefits is you guys get to participate in this lovely game show of ours, where Nick and I do battle to win one of you a game code. So if you're an XboxEra Patreon, you get randomly selected. You might be in with a chance. This week, Nick, who are we playing for?
We are playing for... I'm playing for DJD. And you are playing for Linchpin.
Linchpin.
And the eyes are replaced by ones.
Good for them.
Lawankabawan.
Yeah. I think it's... Maybe I missed the H. Let me see. Did I miss a H?
Who cares?
I hope I didn't.
The category for this week of What Year, My Dear, where I give you
a H. Sorry. I did miss a H.
I will give you a year, I'll give you a game. You tell me the year. The category this, in honor of Ryan McCaffrey having been on, was Xbox Through the Years. Some of the biggest games for this platform.
Okay.
You will know every one of these, that they are a video game, in fact, starting with number 1. What year did Halo Combat Evolved release? Don't always have to be hard.
Oh, well, hang on. The console came out in different countries at different times, right?
For us, in America.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I hope.
Gentlemen, show me your years in
I've got my
3,
year ready.
2, 1. You're both.
Ding.
I had to make sure I clicked the right one. Correct. You can both have 3 points.
Why would you panic over that? It's like arguably the easiest one we've
because
ever
I
had.
thought like I would have just made a complete boo-boo, and it was 2002 because it didn't come out in over here until then.
Whatever.
Gentlemen, what year did Cuphead release?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I think I know what that is.
Shit!
Yeah, I know what that is.
Gentlemen, give me your years in 5,
I
4,
don't.
3, 2, 1. For John. It was, in fact...
it was 2017.
2001 on Halo, 2017 on Cuphead for our audio-only audience.
Ah, shit. Okay.
You were very close, though, Nick.
Damn.
Well...
Yeah, I legitimately didn't know.
The biggest game in Microsoft's history. After they bought it, what year did Minecraft Xbox 360 edition release?
Man. I want to say...
I don't know.
Is it that late? Is it that late?
Gentlemen, give me
Xbox
your
360
years
edition.
in 5, 4,
I could be wrong here.
3,
I don't know.
2, 1.
Oh, shit.
No one
we're
nailed
both
it,
wrong.
but closer without going over is one John Nico Clark, as it was 2012.
Wow. It was one of those ones where I was like, this is later than I think it should be.
And you know what year I was going to put?
Nope.
2013. I was going to put 2013.
You've been close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, an easier one. What year did Starfield release? Give me your year in 5, 4,
Oh my god, what
3,
relax,
2,
man. Relax.
1.
Relax, man.
It wasn't last year, right?
One of you gets A. That person being John Nico Clark, 2023.
Bro. It was
You
announced.
fucking rushed me.
He did. Like, that's scary when you do that. Don't rush us.
Yeah,
right?
relax,
It's very
man. Don't
precious.
When
overdo
it's something
it.
recent,
Don't
you get
overdo
rushed. Gentlemen, what year did Batman Arkham Asylum release?
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, God.
You can't say fuck you on some of the most popular games in a franchise's history. Not my fault.
Man.
This was for the
reckon I've got
Xbox
this one.
360 and PlayStation 3.
I reckon I've got this.
Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, it wasn't in 07.
John reckoned
It wasn't.
right. Nick reckoned wrong. It was 2009.
Oh, really?
Bro, that was Halo 3 and Mass Effect. That was 07 and BioShock.
I thought City was 2009.
Gentlemen,
That was 2011.
what year
I think.
did the original Forza Motorsport release? Current score is 13-3. John in the lead. Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What?
Closer without going over is in fact one Nick.
Oh, you said Forza Motorsport, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
what the
just
fuck did you hear?
Horizon, the first Horizon. Sorry,
It's-
my bad.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
figured you were.
I misheard.
What
I misheard.
year?
Even the first Horizon, you'd be wrong.
I can't remember when
Stop
that was.
talking about other games.
2012?
Who knows what I might have
2010?
coming up later, so shut up. Next one. What year did Titanfall release?
You're not going to fucking get me on this one.
On
Fuck
both the
you. I
360
know- I
and
already know
Xbox
this
One. Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are both correct. It was
You're
2014.
going to get me on one of my favorite games of all time.
What year did Gears 5 release? Give me your year
Scheisse.
in 5, 4, 3.
He'll guess it. He'll get it
2,
right. I know this,
1.
but he'll get it right.
Now, or you lose, John.
Oh, I think he's got it right.
Yes, I got it. I do.
Correct is one special Nick.
Have it. Nah. You can't roll me on that. I know for a fact it was 2019, so I don't give a shit what
Well,
you
yeah,
do.
because they put out the essentially free remaster, in 2020 with the Series X.
Yeah.
People forget how big of a jump that one was graphically. Gentlemen, what year did Psychonauts 2 release? Psychonauts 2.
Oh, shit.
Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Nick might be right.
He might not be. It's John, correct, with 2021.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I thought
It
Psychonauts
was
2
the
was
year-
part of that barren year where they
No.
had no games, but Psychonauts 2 was part of it.
Nope. No more talking about any other years or games because I don't have that many I could choose from. So, gentlemen, what year did Halo 5 Guardians come out?
Oh God, I've gone.
I was
blank.
trying to give him an easy one, Rand. I know. Like, it was supposed to be an easy game. They somehow missed a lot of them. Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Halo 5.
Yep.
Shit. Hold on. Fuck.
The comedy of that. I'm holding up the fucking answer for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And you looked at the screen, so you don't have to say anything else. Enjoy the 3 points that you both get. It's 22.
You act like I didn't play Halo 5.
You were going, shit, I don't know. And the answer was right there.
Because you did that
22 to
fucking
13.
rushing thing again, man.
I'm not... What you talk about, comrade?
Rushing,
Yep.
not Russian.
Well,
Rushing.
everyone leaves during the game show,
Russia.
so I'm trying to keep the pace up. Gentlemen, what year did Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare release? Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yep. Oh. Wait, the 360 one?
The
or the
360
newer
one.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay.
Give me your year in
John's
5,
gonna guess this
5,
right.
5,
John's gonna
4,
guess this
4,
right.
4, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yes, you got it wrong.
Nick is correct. It was 2007.
Fuck yeah. Am I in front? I might be in front.
No, it's 22 to 16.
No.
John is up. You're in
What?
the-
I've been absolutely slaughtering
yeah,
you, mate.
John's dinged
What?
almost all of them. You missed most.
Shit.
Gentlemen, what year did Inside release? Play Dead's Inside.
I think I know. Oh, is it? Oh,
Oh, God. Was that a COVID game? Oh.
I'm
Gentlemen,
torn.
give me your years in
Yeah,
5,
me too.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, fuck.
Got a 2015, got a 2018, and...
I think it's 2017, and I was.
I think it's 2017 as well.
Nobody matched it. It's actually 2016, so John gets a point.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't 2019.
I was going to
couldn't
say
remember.
2017, and I wasn't sure.
There are only 3 left, and Nick is down by 7. He must get all of these correct
All
and
of
have
them.
John
All of
not
them.
get a single one correct.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what year did Dark Souls release on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3?
God. Seriously?
Randy, you're calling
know.
this easy. You've got to realize who I'm trying to give these things to. They missed most of them.
Is Rand in the chat?
Yep. Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, John got it.
Someone who has nailed it and has now won the game is John Sikamikaniko Clark. It was
As soon as I saw
2011.
2011, I realized, fuck.
All right, well, we'll do a
And I was
couple.
going to say 2009.
I did originally have Bioshock in there, but John yelled out, Bioshock was 2007. I couldn't do most of the
Shit,
2007
more
games.
points for that.
It is.
So, gentlemen, what year did Pentiment release? For fun.
Okay. Now I know. This one I know. This
3,
one I know.
2, 1.
This one I know. Nah, John's wrong.
Nick is correct.
I got it.
2022.
Yeah.
That's why I said shut
That
up when
was
you
the
started
year
talking
that
about
had-
everything.
Nothing.
To
Just trying
find
to make me feel bad, bro.
now to replace Jade Empire is in the place of where Bioshock was. So now, when did Jade Empire
Empire?
come out? I meant to say to replace where Bioshock was. When did Jade Empire come out? But I just said Jade Empire.
I think I know. I think
3,
I know. I'm either 1 year
2,
off or I've nailed this.
1.
I'm either 1 year off or I've nailed it.
Nick has nailed it and loses
Yeah, fuck
26
yeah.
to 22.
Oh, wasn't that bad.
Yeah, if he didn't get the other one and you got the other one, you would have won.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, there you go. That was Name a Game.
GG's.
No, it wasn't. It was what year, my dear?
Nope.
Yep.
Yep, it was.
Congratulations to Lynchpin on your victory.
Just message
please reach out
me
to Jesse.
through the Patreon. It's the easiest way, really.
Absolutely.
Rand, Jesse, why don't you have a game this easy when I'm on? You host, Rand. What does it matter to you?
Yeah. Well, I think there might have been one time when he was
host.
co-host and it was one of you versus him. But also because
Oh,
he
was it?
knows
Oh, I
things.
remember.
Like you guys get everything wrong. I can't give you the hardest stuff.
Okay.
I would like a movie quote quiz.
Oh yeah, I'd kick ass at that.
Well, then we need to actually do our movie podcast where it would make sense to have it.
I've been saying numerous times, should we do a movie podcast this week? No, I can't do it. Haven't
do one this
sex with
Friday.
me boys. Hey?
I can do one this Friday.
That'd be next Friday, he means.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Can we? I just watched Final Destination Bloodlines. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
It's spoiler, so good.
Yeah, I'm not really into the whole murder porn, but
It's
I can watch
really
it
goofy, dumb. It's not revel in gore. It's got gore.
All those, it's got a lot of gore. Oh my god, it's got gore. Yes, but it's not gore for the sake of gore, if that makes sense. I mean, we shouldn't talk too much about the movie because we want to do it on our podcast, but I love all the Final Destination movies. I
It's
absolutely
not
love
bad.
them. I think they're fantastic.
Like a lot of those dumb horror movies, it's not trying to make you hate life and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I've not watched any of the previous ones because I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
You should. I feel like you should marathon them. They're very enjoyable and they tie them together in a really cool way. I think you should watch them.
I
wouldn't mind watching Sinners. I wouldn't mind watching Sinners.
Incredible. Easily the best movie I've seen all
Nick will
year.
hate it.
Yeah, probably.
You're racist.
I watched Predator, Killer of Killers. I thought that was really good.
I'm kidding. I was kidding.
And I really want to watch Nicolas Cage in The Surfer.
What?
Nick Cage.
The Surfer?
Yeah, mate. A surfer that goes crazy. Yep. All right. Nick Cage movie. Let's go. That's what I mean. Let's go. Don't question it. Let's just dive in and enjoy Nicolas Cage.
No. Final Destination and Sinners. We'll do a bit of a horror themed episode.
Okay. Oh, The Surfer actually has
Final
good reviews.
Destination's good, man.
Oh, the popcorn meter is horrible.
Meant to be good.
That's so weird how that happens. Like that's an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes, but then the popcorn meter is a 46. I always wonder how.
Yeah,
but user reviews, about as useless as it gets.
I also watched The Amateur with Rami Malek.
Is that good?
It's kind of It's just an movie.
Someone recommended it to me, and then I was like,
And I'm going to see. I'm going to see Superman and Fantastic Four next month, so we can definitely do them. You guys are really go. You love going to the theater.
Superman. Yeah. I want to see it. It doesn't look great, Superman. Like the signs aren't great at the moment.
Really?
But...
That looks really good.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe it's my
movies.
obsession. He does. I do enjoy what James Gunn does, and I can't think off the top of my head a miss of his.
Scooby-Doo.
Said that, it could be. Was that James Gunn?
He wrote it, and then they changed the script around. He didn't direct it.
I actually liked it. I think it's my obsession with Henry Cavill. Like I loved Man of Steel so much. Like Man of Steel to me is just incredible. So I don't know if another Superman movie can top that. It would be very difficult to top staring at Henry Cavill for 2 hours.
Yeah, I get that.
Because David Corenswet just to me doesn't.
He's going for more of the Christopher Reeve, unless the tragic sad guy.
Henry Cavill is Superman. Henry Cavill is Superman.
Is David Corrin Sweat?
Yes.
Or is David Corrin's wet?
Corn Sweat.
What the fuck are you talking about? David Corrins fall over. David Corrins eat a donut. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's just when he said his name. It's like David Corrin's wet. It was like, is he sweat or is he
David
wet?
Corrinswet. David Corrinswet.
So he's sweat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's not Corrin's wet.
No, Corrinswet.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to clarify whether he was wet or sweat. You know.
No, they don't have an apostrophe S and then a dash between the W.
Oh dear.
Oh shit. No, Henry Cavill will always be Superman to me. He's perfection. Easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
And the willy.
You know what else is perfect?
All right.
Our community, who we love. via our Patreon.
Yes.
And they get to do one super fun thing every week. Nick, what is that?
They get to ask us community questions. But before that, go back to the start of the show and watch Ryan McCaffrey plead.
Beg.
I could pull that up and play it.
To join our Patreon. It was a great little segment. It took me by surprise. We were not expecting that.
No, that was like really kind of him.
We were not expecting that at all.
If Ryan holds any sway on our listeners' hearts.
At all.
What's so loud?
But hey, it is that time where our lovely community, who we value, and we couldn't do this without, get to ask us some community questions, which is a benefit of being a member of our Patreon. You can head to patreon.com/XboxEra to become a legendary person yourself. And as Ryan McCaffrey from IGN says, it's less than a cup of coffee.
You only, as I say after every review, if you can spare a coffee a month, that's it.
Less than a coffee.
It's like half a
Starbucks. Apparently coffee's going up. We had a news report the other day that coffee could go up to $12 in Australia, $12 a cup. I'm like, what the fuck? I pay $6 right now. So tell him it's going to double. Fuck
That's
off.
Mad. It's mad. But yes, let's dive into some remaining community questions. We've done a bunch that were specifically for Ryan. We've got a few left, so let's have a look as we wrap up the show.
We'll start on the forum and work our way down.
Oh, and I'm just going to go in order that's in the runner?
Oh, yeah. I forgot it's there. That works.
Yeah, there's a runner. First one. Jesse Brother. Happy podcast 268, you muppets.
Oh. Hey,
especially Jess. Who's Kermit? Whose Kermit was a 10 out of 10. Okay, isn't that supposed to be WHOSE? Who's Kermit?
Yes. Leave him alone. He had a stroke. Oh, okay.
Well, actually, it would be who's without the E, but you just lose the apostrophe, and it would work. Oh, no, because it's implying ownership. No. So maybe it is correct.
No, it's WHOSE.
This is a long question, guys. We should probably move on.
Was the 10 out of 10? Would like to hear again and a belated happy Father's Day to him and John, just not Nick. And not because I think he's less than fried shark shit, but because I know they don't have that until September. That's true. Which brings me to this week's question, which is for Nick and any Australian/New Zealanders in the chat. Why the hell do you have a different Father's Day than the rest of us? Edit. Mott has corrected me that not everyone celebrates Father's Day on June 15th, as Sweden and apparently the rest of the Norwegian countries have it in November. Haha. Apparently some countries in Asia have it in December. Russia has it in February. But who gives a shit about those assholes? They should have it on June 15th because their new Ukrainian daddies do. Slava Ukraini. I never understood why all the days are different. I mean, Mother's Day in the UK is different to the US and Australia, who have it on the same day.
I know why. If you want the secret.
Yeah, I'd like to know why.
It's all made up. You just make it whatever day you want. There's no event it's tied to. So
no, that's right. That's why I never understood it, and I don't know why the whole world just doesn't do both on the same day. Decide on the day for each, and
look at human history.
Today is International Yoga Day, so you know
we're not very good at agreeing on things between countries.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like, it's just strange. I know you guys have it in June, but I feel like. Wouldn't it be better to have Father's Day and Mother's Day a bit further apart? Like, you've got Mother's Day in May, and then the US has Father's Day in June. Why not spread
Mother's
them out?
Day's in March for me, mate.
It's in May for us in the US.
Because, again, it's all made up.
I mean,
most of it's just technically, stuff.
I mean, technically, Jesse, everything is made up.
Yeah.
Technically.
Some things are based on
holidays,
real events.
Everything in life is made up. Everything. All of it.
I typically am... friends, family get informed of this, partners get informed of this, that outside of Christmas and a birthday, I don't give a shit. Like Father's Day, I don't care. I don't need my kids to get me a card. You know, yes. Valentine's Day, I would much prefer it if my partner was like, this is nonsense.
You mean they don't want to fight for a spot at a...
What do you mean?
Cute
I
restaurant?
just had my birthday and my wife was like, what do you want for your birthday? I said nothing. She's like, don't you want everyone to come over? I'm like, no.
Leave me alone.
She's like, do you want a present from us? I said no. I mean, there was a present I asked for from my wife, but that was something separate. But I was like, no. She's like, you don't want anything. I go, no.
Fair enough.
Just another day. It's just another day.
This is the most depressing conversation we've ever had.
Weirdya Santoso in the chat. How about Easter? Easter, I'm not religious. I get a couple of chocolate eggs, fry them with my kids, and go, there you go, guys. It's Easter. Enjoy the days off school. Great.
Oh, my God. So, hold on. For you guys, Easter hasn't become Christmas 2.0 like it has for us?
You got the Greek Easter thing, don't you?
Yeah, we've got Greek Easter as well, which changes every fucking year. Oh, my God. Here, for us, maybe it's just our family. I don't know. Easter has become Christmas 2.0. My wife's like, oh, what are we going to get Thingo for Easter? What are we going to get them for Easter? I'm like,
can you remember his kid's name?
I don't want to give names of my fucking family members
on
the internet.
Yep.
I'm like, why the fuck are we worrying about what presents we're buying people for Easter? It's not Christmas.
Oh,
presents.
Yes,
I thought you were talking about your kids.
That's absolutely mad.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about your kids, not other kids.
No, other kids as well.
Oh, that's
my
weird.
brother's kids and whatever. I'm like, man, it's Easter. It's not Christmas. Why are we worrying about presents? Yeah. Oh, my God. Drives me crazy.
I tell you what, though, like, my missus did come back to me one day when I said, like, Valentine's Day, let's forget about it. She was like, oh, so you don't care about March 14th then? And I was like, oh, okay. All right, if we're gonna have the days off, like, we'll both do those days. So we do get a card now for Valentine's Day. And we also celebrate.
No.
But we also celebrate.
I've got too much in February.
March 14th, steak and fellatio day. Also celebrate
Hold on.
that.
March 14th. Feb 14th is Valentine's Day.
Yes. And then March 14th is the version of the day for us men. Have you Dude, you're missing a trick if you haven't told your wife about this.
The fuck are you talking about?
You need a day for that.
Steak and fellatio day, bro.
Steak and fellatio. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know why he wants to say and a budge.
A budge.
A budge.
Oh my God, I just Googled it. Steak and blowjob day.
Bro, get with
Steak
the
and blowjob day. Hold on. Steak and blowjob day is a satirical, unofficial holiday created in the United States as a male response to Valentine's Day. Oh my God. How am I only just hearing about this?
Mate, you need to, explain to her that Valentine's Day is made up, but you're willing to still commit to it.
Observed by North America, Australia, Europe, and New Zealand.
There you go.
Oh my God. I mean, sure, if you're the sort of person that doesn't get blowjobs from your missus that often, then fair enough. But
yeah, but you can make a big ceremony out of it. Cook me a steak. I mean, admittedly, you'd want to cook the steak yourself, but
I don't cook steak. I got no idea how to cook steak.
Oh dear. Anyways, tangent galore.
Not really. Jesse, it's all technically about holidays and giving and receiving, giving and receiving,
receiving and giving.
See how I tied friends into it. Giving and receiving and having and giving.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Okay. Next question.
Hytham G. Hytham had a different question. What happened to his Ryan McCaffrey question?
Oh.
Hytham had a Ryan McCaffrey question.
He didn't.
He did. He had a Ryan McCaffrey question.
I think he edited it because he thought that we wouldn't ask the questions.
Oh.
Because, people yelled at him up.
I wondered why he changed it.
Yeah. See, tell that to Travis because most of this thread was people yelling at him.
Yeah, your brother fucking bullied him into changing the question.
I know.
Trav. For shame.
He treated him like Hytham was a nuclear site in Iran and Travis was a B-2 bomber from the U.S.
Whoa, let's not get political.
No, it literally just happened. Trump's crowing about it on Truth Social.
What, they just bombed Iran?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just reading Hytham's Ryan question, Hytham, I would argue he probably inadvertently answered it anyway. I'm just reading it now, and it's talking about the direction Microsoft's going, about being multiplat and all that sort of stuff. I'd say we covered that anyway. I would argue.
Mm-hmm.
So the question we got here is, so what are your gents' favorite cafe places you gents like to go to and sit to have a coffee and delicious baked good? Would it be Dunkin', Starbucks, or any other cafe you gents like to sit and have coffee and baked good? Look, Hytham, I don't want to dox myself, so I'm not going to give the name of the cafe that I go to all the time. Having said that, there is one that I've put a photo up of where I've gone, and it's called Nico's. So it's literally named after me. Like, it's a place called Nico's, the Greek version of Nico's. So that's the place I go usually at night to get a coffee, because I like having a late night coffee, like about 9:30 at night.
Nice.
But the place I go during the day, the place that my wife comes back and pokes the coffee through the door here, I'm not going to name it, but that's, if John and Jesse ever come down here, I will take them there for breakfast so they can have one of the greatest breakfasts they've ever had. They will go to that cafe. They will also come with me to a place called Easy's, a burger joint.
Yes, please. I love a good burger.
That's where I took MVG. It's where I took our patron Jason. I also took MVG to Nico's. So yes, I will take Jesse and John to these places if they ever come down here, and they will enjoy them thoroughly.
I bet.
I might have to get away from the nuclear fallout.
Yep.
It's funny. There's two answers to this question for me in terms of favourite cafe. The one that you got to go to, Nick, on the first day when you landed and we went for a coffee.
Yes. Yeah.
That is my partner's favourite cafe, and it's the one I end up going to the most because it is right around the corner, effectively.
Yes. What was it called again? Started with an M.
Marley's.
Jacob
right. I was about to say Molly's.
It's
Molly's.
It's a nice place, and the service is great, and the vibe is good, and all of that. But there is, and this is the weirdest thing. So there is a really, really upmarket, posh furniture shop in a place called Rayleigh, which is, I don't know, about 15 minutes drive from where I live, right? And inside this furniture shop is a cafe. And you wouldn't know it, right? And this is the funny thing. I have a friend who is the daughter of a millionaire. So she is what I would consider super rich and posh, right? Mm-hmm. And we found this place. Like, Kat and I were like, really, like, we didn't want to go. This was before Marley's opened. Didn't want to go for breakfast at the other local Greasy Spoon because, you know, it just wasn't our vibe. We were Googling. She's like, what the hell is this? This place is like the most highly rated place in Benfleet, but apparently it's in this furniture shop. And we're like, what? So we literally went out on a Saturday morning to explore and be like, what is this? Yeah, it is the best breakfast I've ever had at a cafe. And they do really great coffee and incredible homemade cafe. Until I get to your place, perhaps. But yeah, it's in the middle of a sofa store. Go fucking figure. Really
that's
weird.
Cool. I like that.
Strange. But there you go.
I like that. I think that's good.
But the fact is,
go sit on a comfy couch and have a coffee.
It's all got the furniture from the shop inside the cafe as well.
Yeah.
Like, so you can kind of see. And the funny thing was, you could tell it was a posh place because I was like telling my friend, I was like, oh my God, we found this cafe. And she was like, oh, Frederick's. I was like, oh, okay, of course you know it exists. And everyone in there is like fucking wearing their posh Wellington boots because they've been on the fucking fox hunt or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, really?
They're all fucking posh. It's just nothing but nice cars. And we pull up in our pokey piece of crap. You know, like, it is what it funny. Is. Yeah, there you go. Jesse, what about you?
I can make myself look posh.
There's a place near us called Ellie's that I always really like going to, except for they wouldn't allow masks during COVID, so I stopped going there.
They wouldn't allow them?
I'm in the American South. It became it was a heavily politicized issue for no good reason.
I was about to say, I'd understand if they were a cafe that said, hey, we're not going to force you to wear masks like a lot of places did, but force you to not wear them. It was weird. Interesting one. That's an interesting one. But yes, if they turn around and say, look, guys, hey, we're not going to bust your balls. We're not going to make you wear them if you don't want to wear them. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, cool. I'm either going to choose to or not to wear one. But to say, hey, get that fucking mask off. That's a weird one in the middle of the pandemic.
Sadly, not around
here. Okay. Next question, but not a question, is from what I believe must be a new patron. Ghost. He just says, friends suck. They do suck, mate, especially when you got the friends I do. I know he was saying probably the TV show, but he didn't say friends sucks.
No,
he just says friends suck. So I decided to flip the script on that comment and make it out like the friends you have in real life suck.
Technically, it should have been friends sucks, because then it's like a thing. When you say suck, you're just talking
friends.
about the concept of a friend.
That's exactly right. And that's why I tried to flip the script
Got him.
on that. Yep. I'm very clever like that. Next question. BMM777. Holy shit. Hey, Jesse. Nick and the sometimes here host who hates the patrons, John. Hope you're all doing well. Seeing how Jesse wanted a 5-hour show, and the thought of John staying up past his bedtime amused me. I thought of a few questions / tangent starters. Number 1 of 6. No. Yeah, 6. I don't know why he went 3A and 3B. Just go 3 and 4. Number 1. With Black Ops 7 on the mind, I thought of an awful idea. I remembered wager matches existed back in the day. Could you imagine if they brought it back, but with COD points? Obviously, they would have to beef up security and somehow have no cheaters.
They couldn't do that.
Wager matches? They were in earlier CODs, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But they're doing a COD world tournament right now, and it's just plagued with cheaters. A Warzone one. So they could not stop cheaters.
Especially with the advent of crossplay, it's just it's not happening.
I still look. Maybe I'm just naive and old, but I still don't understand the concept of the cheaters in these games. Like, where's the fun? I'm trying to understand where the fun comes in.
Okay, prime example, mate. When you turn on God mode in a game and just blast through it without worrying.
But that's a single player game.
Sure,
that's a single player
game. You enjoy just dominating all the enemies and just getting through it. Yeah, that's what it is for people in multiplayer. They enjoy ruining everybody else's time, but that's it.
But hold on. But philosophically, a single player game versus a multiplayer game. The multiplayer game, part of that is showing off your skill or learning to get better or whatever.
For most of us, yes. Other people, they just want to see other people lose, and that means by winning by whatever means necessary.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, that's why I said maybe I'm just naive and old. Yeah, I do remember wager matches. I don't think they were a ton of fun, and I don't think too many people liked them. So I'd be surprised if they brought it back. Number 2. I know the Banjo Bros have been waiting an eternity for their game, but let's say for some reason it couldn't happen. What if we got Conquer the Squirrel instead? Or with Capcom being on fire lately, Beautiful Joe makes a grand return. Oh, Beautiful Joe was fun. I've still got Beautiful Joe on GameCube, actually. And I pray that Beautiful Joe makes its way to NSO Online, the GameCube lineup. Why wouldn't Capcom be open to that? I reckon that'd be good. Conquer. I prefer Banjo to Conquer myself. What about you guys?
I would prefer Conquer. I have more fondness for Conquer, but Conquer worked because it was super edgy and it riffed off of loads of stuff. And I feel
it wouldn't work like that now.
It just would fail now in that way. Like it kind of got away with it back then, but I feel like it would just be cringy
because back then swearing in games was taboo. It was like that was part of what it lived off.
Yeah.
3A. As opposed to just 3. How to pay for Gamescom and how to get Nick full-time. As people have brought up before, Nick would obviously start an OnlyFans. Yes. He already gave us a tasteful preview during his time in Hollywood on that spectacular, totally unforgettable Halo TV show. Yeah. I would. Look, men don't find as much success on OnlyFans, unfortunately, to the level that women do. Understandably. Outside of your very rare exceptions. I don't know if I would be one of those exceptions to that rule. Maybe I'll have to test the waters and ask around how many people would be interested. in seeing OnlyFans content from myself. No one. Jesse, hey, to be fair, Jesse's had a preview of the OnlyFans content. Have you not?
Not,
I think we all
not
have,
what
Nick,
everyone would really want. I didn't get the full dinkus.
Nick's ankles.
Oh,
No, Jesse didn't see anything below the waist,
that's what I'm saying.
but he did see above the waist.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something worthwhile, potentially. Patron tier,
Can't really do it on Patreon.
can't you?
No, they don't want the sex work at all. I think there's plenty of models and stuff that would be fine. You're not like goat seeing it. I think you're good.
No, I definitely wouldn't be doing that. That would not be a nice view. I don't even let my wife see that. 3B, as opposed to 4. Here is how this plan will work. Instead of Nick putting the fear of God into Jesse when he's about to drop a rumor he shouldn't have said live on the podcast, he can drop rumors that are too spicy for the podcast to handle on his OnlyFans. This way, when game journalists report on Nick's rumors /leaks, they'll have to cite his OnlyFans, generating traffic his way. Rumors and leaks will be in the free tier, of course. The paid tier can be Nick doing a parody of Henry Cavill building his computer. Nick can do a sexy video of him cleaning all his amiibos, also showing his diet, control with discount code XboxEra. Ooh, I don't mind that. You know, I actually did do that once or twice. I jumped on Twitch and I streamed on Twitch while I was cleaning my gaming room. And I actually had a few people watching. They were enjoying just watching me clean my gaming room. I was like vacuuming my consoles and dusting off all the shit. And people were like, this is quite therapeutic. Just watching you clean.
There you go.
I should start doing that more often, maybe. Topless.
Clean your microphone with your tongue. That is a very big category on Twitch.
I fucking hate that shit. No, that's gross.
Got to hide them on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking so gross.
Tastes like cat hair.
Nope.
You want to make me listen to you do that Hytham shit? I'm going to do... That's just English.
Nope.
Wow.
Number 4. Scale down.
You know what I'm going to do, John? I'm going to quickly record myself making those noises and play it through StreamYard.
Just to him. Okay,
I suffer from misophonia. You can Google it.
Kind of someone chewing.
No, misophonia is like it's not a fear. It's not phobia. It's misophonia. It's actually 2 Greek words combined. Small sounds. Miso, so half sounds. And it's about I googled it, and it's not a thing that doctors diagnose, but misophonia is a thing where you just can't fucking stand. You're brought to rage by like little sounds like that, like the fucking ASMR sounds and people doing little coughs and all that stuff, and chewing with their mouths open and all that, and that like those sorts of sounds literally drive you to rage. And
Fair.
I suffer from that. I fucking can't stand it.
Fair.
I hate it. Scalebound when? I don't know, man. I don't know. I reckon prior to Kamiya, that wank, leaving, I reckon Scalebound was a chance of returning, but I think now with Kamiya gone, I assume it's most likely dead.
Yeah.
But there was a time period where they were discussing bringing it back. There was a time. Number 5, buy Console Wars the card game and the Xbox book by John. Thanks for all you guys do. Love listening to y'all. That includes you too, John. Try to get some rest.
I appreciate that, BMM.
He
I did not write the book
by John as a joke.
Yeah,
He put an asterisk.
He's having fun. He's having fun.
He put an asterisk next to
it's
John.
Crazy though, man. Like seeing that book appear on Waterstones, which is a big book company here in the UK. That's like whoa. So yeah, and weirdly, Jesse will attest, we were obviously the only ones that had that news about the pre-order of that book, and it went big.
Biggest article of the year by far.
60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hugely popular.
I don't know if it got us any pre-orders, but it went crazy.
Yeah, well, hopefully the book company is really happy. I hope it did get loads of pre-orders. But yeah, thank you. And yes, definitely buy Console Wars. And if you have bought Console Wars, leave a review because that's helpful. Make a Board Game Geek account. Give us a rating. Share your thoughts. That would be very helpful.
Last question.
Woo!
Yep. Hey, Linchpin, my misophonian brother. Yeah. Fucking misophonia, mate. That shit doesn't mess around. I lose it at my kids when they chew. When I hear them chew with their mouth open, I fucking lose my shit at them. They're terrified of me. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Like, I fucking...
You should have told us this, bro.
Like, I seriously, legitimately fucking hate it. I can't deal with it. It's fucking bullshit. Nah. I'll leave my headphones off. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, stop. Because that's mean.
Last question.
Final
Sonic SVT Focus. I enjoyed having 4 people on last week's podcast as it provided for some interesting / cringy discussion. Yes. Intentional / there for Nick. Maybe you could do this each week. But instead of having Soul Blazers on each time, you could include a Patreon member, CEO, Grand Benefactor, and Executive Producer tiers only. We hear the same names of these patron members each week on the podcast. I'd love to hear them on the podcast periodically too, since they are a large part of the Xbox Era community. Thoughts?
It makes sense on paper, but the reality is that so many people across so many different time zones, and availability is tricky. But we do want to do another Xbox Era Patreon Town Hall. We held the first one back in, what was it, February, I think, or March? Can't remember now. Where community members, it was on our Discord channel, we recorded it, and you could just come in and you could just take the mic and speak, say a bit, tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see more of. We will be doing another one of those. We've also got tentative plans to do, because we do want to do Gamescom, a summer subathon. We have a very large collection of actually really quite good game codes that we'd love to give away to everyone.
They won't be tied to donations, right? But donations will unlock them. You don't have to donate to get one, but do big giveaways on the Discord tied to trying to get more money in the subathon, which is right there next to me. But yeah, I'm not big on, like, I never liked callers and call-ins and stuff like that. So for me,
it's a tricky
I've called into
tough.
shows
like,
before.
I love our patrons, but I also do think we've always held ourselves to like a standard where we try to not be snobby about it. So like someone like Korkenstein, he's got a history. I know what he's like on camera and on microphone, all that type of stuff. Like it makes, but for most people, you have no idea what they are. They might sound horrible. You don't know what they might say. Like it's tough.
It's a risky one, yeah. Which is why we probably do that more in a town hall type environment.
Super chat.
Yeah, lovely.
Also,
super chat.
I mean, you can even go back and watch early episodes of our show. I was fucking horrid.
I did not.
It was bad.
I could not watch the first 50-ish episodes of this show.
Until I got comfortable on camera and on mic and all that sort of stuff. Man, that was rough.
We've got the rapport built now, though, that we can just have a laugh with each other.
It's not just the rapport. It's not just the rapport. Like I said, I feel much more confident now just even being on a camera and talking. And I didn't say it while we had Ryan, but man, I don't know how he does it. Like he was like eye fucking the camera the entire time. And I'm like, bro, I don't know how you do that. Like I try and force myself to look directly into the camera, but when I'm producing, I can't. I have to look at what is actually there to make sure it all looks right. Yeah, I admire his ability to be able to do that. That's full on.
Yeah.
Super chat by Sir Gore.
Move it. Oops.
Hey, y'all rock. My favorite YouTube channel. Oh, wow, that's great. What dev would you want to make a Fallout spin-off game? I want In Exile to make a Fallout CRPG. Not Wasteland 4, though.
That would probably be my answer. Would be if you're going to do another CRPG and go back finally, having an Exile on it would be about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
What about Obsidian?
Yeah, obviously.
They haven't done one as recently, but I'm sure they could. Especially if it was that, I mean, they have done them recently with Pillars. But the more what people might want out of Fallout, is it more tactics? Do you go back all the way to the original and all those, like, how do you modernize it? I do think they would have some good ideas, either at Obsidian or in Exile, or because Xbox own them, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, as we have learned that IDOS Montreal is helping with, like, every game under the sun that Microsoft's working on, everyone's helping everyone. I think that's one of the biggest strengths they have, where it's like, no matter who's the lead, they just have so much to pull from as far as other studios go with experience.
Hey, since Microsoft is a third-party publisher now, why not reach out to someone else entirely to make a Fallout spin-off, like Sony Santa Monica? Hey, so hey, it's going to come out on PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
Why not get that PlayStation first-party quality injected into Fallout?
Let's
exclusive on PS5 for 1 year.
And then the reviewers will be torn. It's like, what do we do? Do we shit on this game because it's Xbox? Or do we gush over it because it was made by Sony Santa Monica? What do we do?
Get Media Molecule to make it. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, man. Like,
what are they doing? What is that studio doing?
Don't know.
No idea.
What is that studio doing?
Don't know, mate. We just don't know.
Are they still supporting Dreams?
No.
No, it's all shut down.
Yep. Never went to
Is it?
PC.
God, I've seen some amazing things in Dreams.
Yeah, you can do some cool stuff, but you're doing it with a controller, and so
Like-
it was always limited.
Some of the stuff that I've seen people do in Dreams is like, holy shit.
So a
like
Seinfeld
next level.
VR horror game.
I've seen some stuff that's like next level in Dreams. It's like unbelievable stuff. I think they made a mistake not releasing that on PC day and date.
Supposedly, it was so
fully pushing it.
intrinsically tied to the hardware. I don't know. Because I think it had like full
Tangent.
VR support and had to be built in for all that, and it ended up, not being worth the ROI.
Yeah. They should make Sackboy 2. I reckon.
It was Sumo, right?
Media Molecule. That was Sumo.
Hmm.
But like, if Media Molecule's not doing anything,
I hope
Let
they
them
were.
make
They
Sackboy
have
2.
to be. It's been so long. Or maybe they had him on some games as a service shit and canceled it.
don't know.
Man.
But it's interesting that they do have a few studios that we kind of have zero clue what they're doing.
Yeah. Like, what's the
They've
Blue Point
announced
on
nothing
now?
Yeah, what's Blue Point doing right?
The Days Gone devs on Bend. They said it.
Yeah, what's Ben done?
Yeah.
Who knows,
What are they on?
lads?
Who was on
just
that
don't
God of
know.
War 2D Metroidvania that got delayed to next year, according to Grub?
Hey, because I saw someone mention that in the chat. It's interesting that Jeff heard that it got pushed. Again, I didn't watch the clip, so if they're not the words he used, I apologize. I just saw what was on Twitter and whatever, and that people were saying, oh, that God of War Metroidvania was pushed to 2026. When I got told about that God of War Metroidvania, I just got told it's a 2026 game.
Maybe it means
To begin with, like
showing it off for the first time.
Yeah,
don't know.
I got told it was supposed to be revealed 2025, release 2026. That's what I had heard about it to begin with. So when Jeff's like, oh, yeah, it got pushed, I'm like, oh, I never heard it was supposed to be a 2025 game. So I just found that interesting. God, I'm very much looking... When I got told about a God of War Metroidvania, I straight away went to my friend Masayed, who has also been very much wanting a God of War Metroidvania, and I'm like, bro, guess what I just got told? I'm like, holy fuck, we're getting a God of War Metroidvania. He's like, no fucking way. And then he posted our DM on Twitter when Tom Henderson mentioned it.
Nice.
He posted the DM on Twitter saying, yeah, Nick told me about this like 2-3 weeks ago. I was like,
So,
bro.
Yeah, I think that's the show, right?
That's the end of the show.
So it's been lovely and great, and we really appreciate
Just under 3 hours. That's not bad.
you. Trav, John is on fumes. I'm actually doing okay.
Yeah, it's that you have to get up early is why you're like,
No, it's not that. Well,
That doesn't
she
help.
did say, like, here's the thing. She did say, if you come to bed like maybe if you want me to let you sleep, and there is a part of me, like we've all been there. Dad's watching right now. Do I want you to take the kids away and leave me in bed alone in an empty house for several hours? Do I want that?
Yes.
You all know the answer, dads. Dads out there.
Yes. My wife right now is out there in the freezing cold taking my son to his football game.
Yeah.
He's playing footy this morning. And then my daughter is playing footy later.
Yeah.
My wife's like, you going to come to her footy game? I'm like, yeah. I mean, okay.
But yeah, it's a weird one. I know that like people might be watching and reading the news right now. Like, yes, and I hate to end the show on a political note, but yes, America did just bomb Iran.
Did they really? Yeah, why did they make that up?
Yeah, America did just bomb Iran,
and we know because he posted about it on social media and did not get congressional approval.
Like, I don't know what to say anymore. And like, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to say anything about who they are as a person. But when your leader says, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fort Natanz and Isfahan, all planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs, all caps, was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. In caps, now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Now we've bombed you. Let's go to the negotiating table. Let's hope for no World War III so we can carry on playing video games, yeah? But I thought Congress had to approve
the
president going to... Oh, okay.
Legally, but when you don't care about legalities, you don't care about legalities.
Well, let's all hope that the universe is still here for next week's podcast on Saturday, where we'll be back to talk more video games and hopefully focus on the fun things in life. If you're looking for more Xbox Era goodness, stay tuned. We'll be back with headlines on Tuesday and Thursday this week. We don't know what the industry is going to bring, but there's going to be some video game news, and Jesse and I will be around to cover it, as well as whatever reviews and previews. Apparently, Arsal's got 3 of them ready to rock and roll. 3 previews coming your way next week. We'll soon find out.
I've got some really good news that I just read right now on Twitter.
Hit me.
Guess who's joining Henry Cavill in Highlander?
I know
who.
Russell Crowe.
Nice. Okay. Is Russell Crowe going to be Ramirez? Is he going to be Ramirez?
So.
God, no.
I assume so.
If they do that, my God. I mean, there's never been a good Highlander movie. There's been an enjoyable Highlander movie. I said enjoyable. When you go back, it's not actually a good movie, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, okay. All right. I mean,
and they've gotten really bad.
And the director plans on reusing the Queen soundtrack, which I'm all for in every essence. Like, who
Henry Cavill and Russell Crowe.
I've heard Russell Crowe's Italian when he was playing a pope or a cardinal. Boy, his Spanish would be pretty offensive.
Looking forward to it.
What do you mean? I watched him be a Greek in Thor.
No one cares about that.
Which was hilarious. That was hilarious. Oh, wait, yeah, see? He's set to play Henry Cavill's mentor.
It'll probably be someone different.
In a variation on the part played by Sean Connery. Oh, yes! I will be seated for this movie, and I will be eyes glued to the screen for Henry Cavill and Russell Crowe in Highlander. Oh, shit! That's going to be great.
Hey, do you want to know something cool that I just literally read?
What?
When 7 came out,
yep,
Brad Pitt had it written into his contracts that the ending could not be changed, and the studio did try and change the ending, and he was like, "I've got it in my contract, no changes," and he protected the ending of that movie.
Lucky.
What's in the box? Anyway, I thought that was a fun fact.
God, seven is fucking harrowing.
Yeah, it's a fucking...
That movie is fucking harrowing. Like, it's full on. Like, yeah, man. That oh my God.
Woo.
That's a great movie, 7.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie.
Anyways, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for a very entertaining show. Big thank you to, of course, Ryan McCaffrey for joining us for the first hour and a half or so.
Yep.
We'll be back next week for the Xbox Era podcast. Until then, play some video games. Try and relax.
Episode 269.
Hey. Nice.
Hey.
We'll see you then.
Ciao for now.
Myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar stain. Try to kill it all away, but I remember my sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of spit upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else, I am still right here. What have I become, my sweetest friend? Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. And I misplaced my mind in a good way. Threw away my reputation but saved us more heartache. I do. What makes you think you're even invited? The doors are closed, the lights off inside, and all the while there's no one home, you're still outside. I